Nigga be boring, man.
Go on the Christian sauce, blood.
No salt, like. This thing taking a while. Alright, it's running out.
Alright, cool. First of all, we will give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Ruchach, Wadash. We want to give double honors to the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful that's pushing his truth and sincerity, man. You know, hey, man, I just wanted to open up with this, you know. Or did I wait? There was two scriptures.
Yeah, man, let's get in, innit?
Right. Actually, I'll open up with this one, right? It's oh shit, where did it go?
I got a few things I'm thinking about, but yeah, go ahead, man.
Alright.
Yeah.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 32, right? And yeah, I just want to start from the top, you know, right? It says, give ear, O ye heavens, and I will speak, and hear, O earth, the words of my mouth. My doctrine shall drop as the rain, my speech shall distill as the dew, as the small rain upon the tender herb, and as the showers upon the grass. Because I will publish the name of the Lord, ascribe ye greatness unto our power. Right, and this is why we open up, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai. Right? Because we give glory and thanks to our Heavenly Father that is in control of all things, man.
For everything.
You know, the good and the evil. Because a lot of evil been happening lately. Yeah. You know? And more evil to come. Right? We know it's our power that's in control of doing all of this, man. Okay, that's why we're not afraid. We're not scared of what's going on. We're not worried. Right? This is all fulfillment of prophecy, man, and that bodes well for us. All right. But these, you know, other people don't want to praise the name of the Lord. Right? That's like one of the most important things. Right? Because when this all goes down, it's the Lord that's going to get the glory. Fuck us. The Lord's name is going to be magnified, and His Son's name. Okay. We ain't got no names yet. Right? It says, He is the rock. He is the rock, right? His work is perfect, for all His ways are judgment.
The work is perfect, man.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what that makes me think of? Is like, that's why it doesn't change. You know? That's why it's good. That's why it's good, and it makes sense. Like, you know, these goofy Christians, that doctrine is not a perfect doctrine because it doesn't make sense. There's corruption in there. You know, the Lord, the scripture, I am the Lord, I change not. Yep. Yeah, that's perfection, consistency.
Yep. I don't need to change. It's all good.
Perfect.
You know. So His work is perfect, for all His ways are judgment. A God of truth.
That's right.
Right? And without iniquity, everything's just.
Yep.
Everything the Lord does is just.
Oh, another scripture that comes to mind. Galatians. God is not mocked. Whatsoever man sow, so shall he also reap. That goes into envy not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Yeah, because it might look to you that overall, oh, this is unjust, this is wicked. You know, how can God let the devil himself, you know, baby Satan, run around the earth and do this evil and do that, and look, he burnt up this bear and he killed Emmett Till, and it's all this pain and suffering. But then hold on, the perfection is that He's gonna pay. Yep. The justice is gonna come, and there's gonna be, so the perfection is there's gonna be a reward for the wicked and the righteous. The righteous are gonna get their just desserts, and the wicked are gonna get their just desserts. So that's perfection. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the book of Psalm 73, so from 1. Truly Most High is good to Israel, even to such as are of clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. Ooh. My steps were nigh asleep. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
All you gotta do is, we could do that now. We could go down central London right now. You're gonna have all these Edomites running around town, and they you know, they could do things that we can't do. You know, they can go places we can't go. They go up in the restaurant, they ain't worried about the price on the menu. Like, come on, Jake, keep it real. Like, more time, if you go to a top restaurant.
That's why they man got married at the Salt Bay, bro.
Oh yeah, it's like complaining about the price.
Yeah, they thought they were flossing. You ain't flossing. If you complain about the price, you ain't flossing.
You ain't flossing for you. You shouldn't be in there.
No, you don't belong in there.
You go on the, like, I remember one time I took my woman to Cosmos, which that shit's fucking shit anyway. But I took her to Cosmos and I was vexed, blood. When the bill come, I was vexated in the spirit. I was angry, you know, because that shit cost, you know, it was, you know. But these Edomites, they can go places. They don't worry about, you know, a lot of these Edomites. I'm not talking about every Edomite, but a lot of these Edomites, they don't have to worry about the price of things, man, because they got it like that. So that's the prosperity that they have. The luxury holidays, the cruises. That's the Edomites' world, you know.
For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm.
Right, they've been ruling for a long time now in wickedness. You know, it's a long time for us because they've been ruling longer than we've been alive. So that's painful, because we were having a discussion earlier. We're mortal right now, so time is painful to us, man. You know, for us 20 years is fuck that, waiting at the stoplight, yeah. Man's be there suffering like, oh, but when you break it down, you've been waiting there for like a minute, yeah, and you just there suffering like, oh, yeah, because we got this mortal way of viewing things. So for us, like Esau ruling for hundreds of years is a suffering. It's like raw, like man's been doing all of this and he's still here, he's still doing this thing, he's still strong, he's still able to go out there and make policies. Klaus Schwab and all these you know, you know, all them guys, you know, and it is vexing. Go on up.
They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore pride compasses them about as a chain.
That's why they don't believe in God, man. That's why they believe in themselves. That's why they justify everything according to themselves. Even when they say they believe in God, them man don't believe in no God. That's just they like man like vocab, and them man are saying that because everything's they can control what God is.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Like
might is right.
Might is right. So they yeah, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus.
I'm blessed.
But they'll justify putting you in slavery. Listen, they'll put you in slavery today and justify it using Jesus. Because really, their Jesus is a manufacture. It's a product of themselves, of their own will. They're gonna twist and turn the scriptures or ignore the scriptures when they feel like, according to their own will.
So when it's in their favor, it's a blessing from God. They you know, everything's good for them, right? But it's someone else having some prosperity, or they come and do something to you. That wasn't God though. That was the devil. That was something else. You know, because we're the godly. You know what I mean? They ain't meant to be doing that. Well, that's why Esau's in control of narratives, man.
Yeah, that's what it is. Really, you're right. Really, their version of God is their narrative. Listen, God represents a narrative for them. You know. Yep. Whereas we are subject to what the Lord says, whether it be for good or evil, and that's a true worshipper. You got to worship the Heavenly Father according to His word, whether you like it or not. It's not up to you, because He's God. He's, you know, like
in charge.
He's in charge. Yep. Not twist and turn and you want to change up things according to your own will, so, to justify yourself. And that's Esau Edom. He always does that. Yep. Yeah, oh man,
the hypocrite. The triumphing of the hypocrite. You know, coming to an end. Yeah.
Violence covers them as a garment.
That's why they kill whenever they need to, according to their will, man. To this day, don't tell me they don't, because I know the funny thing, this whole Ukraine thing, like, kind of put like highlighted these devils, man, because it's like the whole world can see that them man are dealing different, innit? Them man are moving a bit hypocritical still. Yeah, but when you really check it out, man, like these devils, man, they're very violent, man. They're very violent in their activities throughout the earth, man. Extreme violence, man. Like Jake be getting it in domestically, but we're talking about Esau Edom. He got
locally, getting it locally,
local badness, but
globally,
global.
It's Esau,
and the level. Because if you compare, like let's look at gang crime and the kill rate, and then I don't think all the gang crime can add up to World War I or World War II. We're talking about millions of people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
over a period of a few years.
Look at the destruction and the damage as well. Cities flattened. Yeah. You look at what they did to Baghdad, what they done to areas in Syria. Some of them places look like something out of what you know when what is it, Batman versus Superman, the vision of doomsday and shit. It's a mad thing. Yeah, so he's a violent man and he will justify his violence. And this is the Christian man. Remember that we're talking about the Christian man. what do you say, kinetic action, special operation, all kind of terms. And he never saying, oh, turn the other cheek. He's not saying, oh, love thy neighbor. You justify it, man.
Yep.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than hearts could wish.
They got man, these Edom. I looked up, you know how many millionaires there are in America, brother?
Loads.
21.9 million. There's 21.9 million millionaires in America alone.
Just
and
in America.
I don't know what the statistic is, but I'm pretty sure that there probably ain't even a million Jake that are millionaires. I doubt it somehow. So these devils have socio-economically enjoyed abundance more than any other people on earth. This is a statistical fact. You know, they got more millionaires, they got more billionaires, we ain't got no trillionaires. They got so many millionaires and billionaires that you don't even know them by name. Now, more time, if it's, say like a Jake in America is a billionaire or almost a billionaire, you know him. Dr. Dre, yeah. Like, oh, Floyd Mayweather. You know these niggas by name. Normally they're entertainers. And then you got these Edomites that are powerhouses in these industries and you don't know them. You don't know who they are. There's whole cities or towns in places like Switzerland and that where there's just a fucking community of fucking millionaires, man. Just chilling there. You don't even know them. Like, you go Monaco as well. That's another place just filled to the brim with millionaires, Edomites, man. Look, who's that dude that bought fucking tried to buy Arsenal?
What,
See?
the Russian, what, the American dude or the Russian dude?
Nah, it wasn't Russia. I thought he was
Because you got Stan Kroenke.
the Spotify. Who's the guy?
Oh, him.
Yeah.
Shit.
See what I mean?
I don't know his name though.
And he's a billionaire.
Yeah, big boy now.
I don't even know. And I use Spotify.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name.
Yeah.
That's living proof. That's proof right there. There's so many billionaires and millionaire Edomites. It's not even funny. That's why they had to invent a term called hood rich.
Rich for that level.
Yeah, rich for that level. You know?
Just put a gold chain on you, yeah, you're hood rich. That's about how it works.
Yeah, man.
They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression.
They're corrupt. Like they're like, the way this man's world works is all about nepotism. It's all about underhanded deals. They don't mind poisoning people to make profit. They'll do anything to make a profit. There's no morals, there's no ethics. Johnson & Johnson putting asbestos in the baby talcum powder, you know what I mean? Cigarettes. We can go through a long list. Every industry you can find, you'll find, cover-ups, abuse, corruption, bribery. Cut, what they call them again? What they call them? Cutbacks, or when they get a cutback or something. When you get a cutback from a deal, so you will make the deal go through, and then make sure that you get a piece of the money for pushing the deal through. Like, you go into the construction industry, that's a gangster industry. You gotta pay off bare people to get your shit through. You gotta grease a lot of palms, you know.
But it's just all the palms they grease are other millionaires, other billionaires, that they're all in cahoots, man. They're all going to stand a profit out of all of it, you know. But who suffers? The consumers, the people at the bottom, you know.
Yeah, they get preyed upon, man, by these people. They manipulate them on so many different levels. I've even heard, I think, was it Catherine Fitzgerald or whatever her name is? She was talking about, she researched the areas where the Black Lives Matter protests were, and those particular areas are earmarked by the government for certain tax exemptions. So they were basically, the riots would go there, the price of the property would go down, so them super rich can come in and buy out the property and get tax exemptions off the properties, man. I mean, this man is they ruin the people's businesses, get them to sell out the properties, and then use the properties to get the tax exemption. That's corruption. That's, that's wickedness, man. But they could do things like that.
They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. They speak loftily.
Yeah, you're not being oppressed. They're pressing the hell out of you. No, you're not being oppressed. We're doing it for your good, for your benefit. No, you fuck off, man. You ain't doing it for the people's benefit. Who's gaining throughout the whole pandemic, throughout all these wars? Who's gaining?
Yeah, they said the billionaires and all that just got more money.
Rishi Sunak. You know, that man's it. He look like such a nice boy, you know. But no, these men are the ones starting to gain.
Yeah, they're opportunists, which most politicians
We're
are
getting fucked.
businessmen,
We're getting
innit?
fucked right now. Taxes, national insurance raises, fuel raises, or they put the duty down 5p or whatever they did the other day.
5p.
What the fuck
I
it was.
swear it's gone up like 60p. I swear it's gone up, yeah.
The gas, the electricity.
Oh,
We're
man.
getting screwed. The people are getting screwed in all these countries, but they are gaining still.
Yeah.
That ain't right. That don't make no sense.
Wow.
You know? But that's these devils, man. They in cahoots.
They call Jackson lazy. Like you don't work and stuff like that.
But you're not being oppressed though. But you're losing all the time.
They set their mouths against the heavens, and their tongue walketh through the earth.
Yeah, man, these devils, they talk against the Most High. They disrespect the Most High because they think they got it going on. They're actually on that level, especially when you get to the elite level. They talk against the Most High openly. They disrespect him. Just like how they show you in that Sabrina. I don't know if you saw that Sabrina. They are the false god and the violators. That's how they actually talk. You know, they disrespect the Most High, man. Because why? Because, you know, as a man, when you're on a winning streak, you get gassed. The pride, man.
Yep.
You forget yourself, man. You know, like when you forget your humble beginnings.
Yep.
You start feeling like you God or something. That's how these devils are operating, man. They've been winning for too long, so now they're gonna have to get humbled. And the word humble goes back to being humiliated, and there ain't nothing more humiliating than when you get conquered and you destroyed and you lose everything and you're in a pit naked. But
Precept.
yeah,
It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil. Right, and this is the mindset of Esau, like, because he's not had his retribution yet, he ain't had his judgment yet, he feel like this ain't never gonna come. He's so proud, he thinks he got to a point where none of that matters anymore. Most of that don't matter no more. You know? He ain't coming to help these people. he's getting into my hands, you know? So because
like he wants possession of us. Going back to the mark of the you know what.
Yep.
That's him trying to join us onto him forever through the MOTB.
But this is why we get these doctrines that come into the world through the Christianity now, because they want you to believe, man, that it has nothing to do with Israel. This is just them. It's just them now. You know what I mean? We're God. We're the chosen. We're this and we're that. You're nothing. That's why they come up with all these doctrines, replacement theology, and all this bullshit, man. Because they don't acknowledge that no more. They don't acknowledge you.
Well, they had that goofy. I don't know if you saw. They had that goofy Negro come up to the camp talking about being an Israelite would be a downgrade.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Well, that just shows you you're ignorant to the very etymology of the word that you speak. Because ain't nobody high. The only person that's higher than the prince is the king. Tell me I'm lying. The only person in the kingdom that's higher than the prince is the king. And you're telling me that it's a downgrade to be a prince. How could it be? Well, how could it be a downgrade to be in the chosen people? Didn't the Lord say what people have the Lord, you know, presented himself? You know,
You know.
that's in what Deuteronomy 33. What are you talking about? But he's making that statement because guess what, man? He's been put into a state of delusion by Esau Edom.
Well, that's what they've been made to think, because of the doctrine that Israel don't mean nothing no more. Israel don't even exist no more like that. So it's okay to replace them in their minds because they don't exist. You know, he's saying, because what my logic is this, that he's saying that it's a downgrade because they don't exist, but we do exist, and the Most High did put us on that level.
And they think Esau's got the inheritance now. Esau's got his inheritance here.
But that's why, you know, the kingdom's got the pillars of Israel. Like, if these things don't matter, why are they written about? Why do the 12,000 for each tribe of Israel? What does that all mean? What's that for? If they don't matter?
It's a good question.
You're putting disrespect on not only our name, right, but the name the Most High gave us, man. Yeah. You're disrespecting the Most High because he surnamed us, right? So you really don't know what the hell you're dealing with, man, at all.
But these are the guys that we have to give time of day to, man.
Yeah.
Like I remember when I first came in the truth, the first thing I thought was, "Rah, I'm related to King David." How are you gonna say it's not a glorious thing? So how can it be a downgrade to be an Israelite when that's the chosen people of the Most High, the chosen seed? You know, it's real disrespectful. But he's ignorant. He don't know what he's saying, and he can only
in the scriptures.
thank the Most High that the Most High don't strip him of his Israelite. Well, he has been stripped. Ultimately, that's why he's a slave. That's why he's been slave in America. But he can only be thankful the fact that he is an Israelite, and the Lord gonna have mercy on him, you know, in the end. Because imagine the Most High just turn him into an Edomite. He'd be pissed, wouldn't he? I'm sorry.
It's verse 12, Ecclesiastes 8 and 12, right? It says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, okay, in this case, you know, this is general to everybody, but on the case of Esau now, Esau's been having it his way for the longest, man.
Yeah.
You know?
But hold on, they don't go jail. Because Jake don't really get away with shit, man. We know that. Jake go, like, let's look at these niggas that's got bodies on them. They get bodies on them and they go jail. Eventually they do something and they get caught. You know, niggas selling drugs, they get caught. Like, in terms, just generally speaking, certain crimes, it comes back to Jake, whether it's jungle justice or whatever. But if you look at Esau, these elites, when's the last time one of the elites got punished in the way of they went to jail or they got prosecuted? They don't get prosecuted, man.
No, a lot of these guys get to step down from their positions if they get caught up in any political shit. They get to step down with a big bonus pay, you know, and just disappear.
Oh, Mark Rich, he got a presidential pardon for the biggest tax fraud in American history.
Yeah.
But then Wesley Snipes,
his life destroyed.
he did, what was that movie he was in? Yeah, he did the real, you know, he was in jail in one of them movies. He went to jail for real, in real life.
But that's it, man. Esau be getting away with shit, man, because he's in power. He's got the ability to get away with shit. You know, every time Jake's in trouble, they want to make an example out of Jake. They don't make an example out of Esau.
No.
You know, not these elites. Hell no. You know, it says though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, because he's got to prolong all the shit over us, man.
Yeah,
not prolonged,
the Queen Mother.
Yeah.
The Queen Mother and the other one, the nasty one that just died the other day. He's dead, isn't it?
Well, Philip.
Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, he died a while back.
Yeah. Just checking. Yeah, he died. He lived quite long, and you know he was a devil.
Yeah. It's all in the eyes.
The one who say you want to be born, you want to be
it's a virus.
Yeah, a virus. Yeah.
He might have just I think he died before that. After.
Mate, what do you mean born and being a virus? He was a virus when he was, you know what I mean? He was a virus when he was born, bro. You heard what Agent Smith said.
Says, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days. Like, meaning Esau got a specific time that he could rule. Just like every other kingdom had a timeline that didn't go beyond, right? Esau's coming to that point in time now. He's coming to this moment, right? This is
and we're in I'm glad you said that. We're in that time. We're in that time where Esau's coming to that end, and that end could be within, basically, imminent. I use the terminology imminent. By imminent, I mean don't be looking for no 50 years or no 60 years from now, man. And I speak as a man, but listen, the way the prophecies are coming to pass, the spirit the world is in, bro, some of the stuff that's happening now, man, it was like 10 years ago, it wasn't happening like this, man. This is serious, man.
Yeah, not like this, man.
This is serious, and it's getting worse, man.
You can see all the pieces being put in play, just getting ready, just getting put in place, man. You can see that the whole chess game is getting played out, you know. And there's only a few moves left. There's only a few moves left to end the game.
I believe Badia was telling us about the diesel shortage, right?
Yeah.
And then I heard another guy on another thing I was listening to, and he's talking about the truckers, and he was saying, yeah, there's definitely a diesel shortage coming down the pipeline as well. So you know, it's
that's gonna fuck the whole everything up. I mean, things have been getting fucked up, but you know, added pressure, added, you know, until it just collapses, man. You know, this is the time we're living in, man, because there's no real solution to resolve none of these things. There's not like something, they're gonna come out next week and solve the issues. That ain't gonna happen. You know, and this is gonna go on for a long time.
And they don't want to. The Lord's put the spirit in their heart that they're actually like forwarding the plagues.
That's right.
These devils are actually forwarding these plagues, man.
They're
You know,
the reason your economies are collapsing right now.
they're not doing they're not trying to mitigate
Nope.
they're actually feeding into.
That's a big
My man's come out and said, yeah, the sanctions that. But hold on, brother. Like,
worth it.
why did you do that then?
Yeah.
Why would you? Because it's not like these people are. Don't ever think these people are idiots. They're fools,
They know what
but
they're
they're not idiots. These are highly educated and calculated serpents. So you telling me they didn't know that if they put sanction on Russia, that all of this was gonna happen?
Negative effects.
But next man on YouTube, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Next man,
Joe Blogs.
next man that's coming out of work here and putting on a camera on YouTube, searching and tick on Google, he could see, right, this is gonna.
Yeah.
But them man there, that's
The inflation, the money printing.
Nah, they didn't know about that.
They all know, man.
And he came out and said it proudly, man. He was like, and normally, how we know this is different, it's not the place of a president to be so alarming. You'd play down it. You'd play it down, and well, there ain't no problem with food shortages. We're gonna. Normally they'll play it down,
calm,
but he was like, yeah, you know what? Listen, man, we put sanctions on Russia, and kind of like we ended up putting sanctions on ourselves, and you're about to, we're all gonna die.
But the thing is, he's come out and said that, but they're not going to do nothing to reverse that.
Nah,
They're going to go ahead anyway.
They're gonna bring in measures that mitigate it, but not in the way of providing the people more food. Because look at your boy Macron. He came out and said, look, we're gonna have to bring in a rationing system for the food. And then I believe, who is it that came out and said they're gonna bring in a rationing system for the energy?
No, it's Macron that says he's going to do rationing for diesel, but he
said food as well.
No, he mentioned food vouchers.
Yeah, food vouchers.
But that's the same thing. I'm saying if you got to start from this commodity, once you start lacking the other stuff, you're going to bring the rationing for the rest.
But I think someone else, I can't remember where, but I had another article. Someone else said that they're going to have to start in Europe, basically rationing out the energy. Because the electricity.
Yeah.
So and then that's why they were introducing smart meters all these years and all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Rolling blackout. So they're gonna use the crisis to bring in that MOTB to bring the people to their knees so that they can get them to buy into this new world order, man.
Because I was saying, I did a video on the rationing thing as well yesterday, I think, and we were talking about, back in the World War, you had the rationing books, right? And you get stamped. So you go to the store and they give you like.
I still got that video, by the way.
Oh yeah, because you do.
Because you were there too.
Yeah. Where you go pick up like a dozen eggs or whatever, and that'd be you for the week, and some ham or whatever it was that you man are picking up, right? And that was you for the week, and you come back next week and get it stamped again, right? We all know the world is going away from all this paper shit, man. Books because they were saying during the pandemic they didn't want to do all this card stuff, right? Because people were forging, doing things like that, right?
Yeah.
So we're in this digital era right now, blockchain and all this kind of stuff going on. They're gonna make sure it's secure, right? They're gonna make sure that you are correctly identified.
Trustless.
Right, trustless, right? And this is why the MOTB is such an important function, apparatus for the system.
Yep.
It's gonna provide that security, right? So that they can track and monitor everything properly.
Yep.
So your rationing is gonna be based on what's allowed on your chip.
Yep.
You ain't gonna go in there with no book. You're not gonna get no stickers and stamps and that shit, man. That's long.
Yeah. Well, you know what proves that? Because Ukraine is having that that crisis right now over there with Russia, and even in the midst of all that, they've started implementing the apps, and the app has their ID on there, and the ID applies for every government function, and then also the big C certificate thing that's going to be on there. So that's what it was originally designed for, but now they got the new CBDC is now going to be incorporated into that as well, and so they're pushing forward the agenda in Ukraine,
and they're also pushing the universal basic income.
Yeah,
because a lot of people are going to get put out.
Put out of work. Yeah,
put out of work, right? And you're going to be relying on the government. But like that system we just mentioned about everything connecting to use those government functions, guess what? That's going to be a part of your requisites to obtain them financings.
Yep. Hey, that's why. Let me get a scripture real quick, man. He's slick, but what he don't realize is he's playing into the Most High's hands in terms of prophecy, man.
He's slick, man, but we can see the punches.
Right, this is Genesis 3 and 1. It says, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made.
Because initially you wouldn't see all these different things separately happening, or conversion into one thing. You're not paying attention like that. You think that's something separate from this, separate from that, but it's not. It's all heading to the same goal.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, definitely, because that's why your boy Klaus, your favorite Bond villain, he said, I can't even say the word, but it presents an opportunity, for the great reset, it must sound like Bane or something like. Yeah, but then it's true, these shortages that's gonna come and all these things present an opportunity for them to bring in that new digital control system, and everyone, they're basically looking to them and looking to sign up, so and they're gonna spring it on the people, man. You wait and see. Go on up.
Yeah, I think I was finished with mine.
Yeah, go on.
Back there. Yeah.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra 16 and 37.
That cat's loud.
Behold, the plague draw nigh, and they are not slack. As when a woman with a child in the 9th month bringeth forth our son, within 2 or 3 hours of our birth, great pains compass our womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment.
That's why it seems like we're just going into one thing into the next, man. And this has been kind of continuous, man. These last few years have been kind of continuous, man. Yeah. There's been no let up.
Bro, we had
into another one.
We had lockdowns, bro.
Yeah.
In real life. Who would have thought that?
Over that. Of all things. But yeah, these things, the Lord's prophecy is not slowing down, man. And this is the thing, like we're on this world's on the downward trend. It's doing freefall, right? So when all these things come to pass, man, that's it, that's finished. But that's the trajectory you're on. There's no going backwards. There's no making things better or great or receding, right? Everything's going fast forward now.
Yeah, these devils are basically trying to do a controlled demolition of their system. It's almost like when like when you reboot. When you reboot a system, you have to shut it down, and then but then turn it back on again. But what they don't realize is when they shut it down, it ain't gonna come back.
Ain't turning back on, man.
They did the hard reboot, man. Yeah, but they're destroying their own kingdom.
Yeah.
Thinking they're gonna rebuild something better, build back better, but really it's just the Lord destroying their kingdom and using them to do it.
Yep.
So he's taking the wise in their own craftiness, because that's the highest level of wisdom. The highest level of wisdom is when you can get someone to fuck themselves up.
It shows you've been outsmarted. Outsmarted. The Most High smarter, man. You're just a fool. As the Most High calls you a fool.
Yeah, I got. You got something?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Even so shall not the plague be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side.
Yeah, so you know what that means? That there's going to be more and more. These plagues are going to increase. It's not going to die down. It's not going to like these people thought that it was. What did they say? It's over. When the thing happened, it's like, oh, okay, it's over now. People, what they call it, a sigh of relief. Oh, that's behind us. Listen, you worry about what's behind you. Worry about what's in front of you, man. Because we said there's gonna be a next thing, and then all of a sudden you got this situation.
We just know how soon.
And then we've been talking about the funny thing about this, yeah, is like we've been looking at the now we're really starting to understand it about the dollar, right? It's like, yo, what the fuck's going on with this economy? Like, this economy should have done imploded. But see, what you gotta understand is they could have kept it going as long as the dollar is the world reserve currency, because we've been saying for years the dollar isn't backed by anything, and it's not. The dollar's no longer backed by gold, but the dollar really has been backed by oil, by the petrodollar, by the sales in oil.
Yeah.
That's what makes people have to buy the dollar, right? But then they could just print it into infinity, which is wickedness, right? But now what they've done is they've triggered the de-dollarization, because we're going back in the years, we're talking about Russia was buying gold all these years. Russia's trying to build a new system to avoid SWIFT. And it's like all of that's happened over the years has culminated in this moment with the Ukraine situation, and now the de-dollarization is actually happening.
Sounds okay, yeah.
Like they made a deal to sell oil in rubles.
Energy, yeah.
So the dollar really ain't got long. Literally, yo.
You ain't got to put into dollars no more. You don't have to buy dollars no more.
What's that movie where my man got injected with the thing? What's it? Crank?
Oh yeah, Jason Statham.
The dollar's moving like crank right now, like. You know what I'm saying? Because they've really set the timer on this thing. So a lot of things are gonna happen coming down the pipeline, and you know what? It's beautiful.
And there's so much of it. There's so much dollars in the world.
Oh man,
they've been printing like Mad Max printing, right? And now people are not gonna want it.
It's just sitting in accounts doing nothing too. There's a lot of dollars just sitting in the Vostro accounts. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? Our people worship the dollar. So that's the Lord. The dollar's actually an idol. And the scriptures say you're going to destroy all the idols of Babylon. So our dollar's going to be the first idol to go.
Dollars are full of talismans on it, man.
Yeah, our people worship the dollar. Hey, you think I'm lying? Check your boy Polite. He bowed down and was worshipping the money on the bed. Oh yeah, the almighty dollar. That's wickedness, man. The Bible says you ain't supposed to have no other God before me. You ain't supposed to set up an image of anything to bow down to worship it, man. People do anything for the dollar.
Can I go back to Deuteronomy 32 quickly?
Yeah.
Another precept on that point. Because verse 5 says this. So they have corrupted themselves. Their sport is not the sport of his children. They are a perverse and crooked generation. Because that people all into man, it's all into idolatry, all into the lights of this world, man, which is nothing but wickedness at its root. You know, a lot of it comes down to the love of money, man.
The dollar bill.
Esau got you running after the things you don't have because you're poor, because he haven't got you poor. You know, so you look upon Esau, you look upon his ways, you want to be prosperous like him, but guess what? The ways of that prosperity is wickedness, man.
And they really want to be prosperous to be wicked. They don't want to be proper. You know, these niggas. You know what they say about money, man? If a nigga is wicked and you give him more money, it only amplifies your wickedness. Because money is like is a tool. It's a tool. It's like a hammer. You use money. Money is used to do things. So if you're wicked, I'll give you an example. You got these wicked niggas there, and they'll say, listen, I'm only a gangster because I'm poor. But they got a gun that's worth more than their mom's fucking car, yeah? But anyway, they got this gun, right? What happens when they get more money? Do they decide, you know what, I'm not going to be a gangster no more. I've got earned such and such amount of money. So now I'm going to go farm. I'm going to go buy some farmland somewhere and some cow and some sheep. And I'm able to live my life because I now have enough money to... Nah, dog. Man, listen, a beer gun. Man's buying in more gun. There's more violence. It's actually statistically shown. The more money that these wicked niggas make, the more violence.
Well, Esau is an example of that.
Esau's an example of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, nigga get more money. What's the first thing he do? He access to more man's wives. So he start committing more adultery. He uses that money to commit adultery. Whereas before, maybe the brother's wife didn't want to deal with him because he, you know. So the point I'm making is that the money brings out wickedness in Jake, man. Because Jake, his problem ultimately is iniquity, man. So they're chasing the money, they ain't chasing righteousness. Yeah? Oh man, you know, we just need to get that money and get out the ghetto. Nigga, you wicked, man. They get the money and get more wicked.
And that's why all things you need wisdom, man. You know, you want to be wealthy and prosperous and that way, you need wisdom to stay that way. You know, because otherwise wickedness just follows you, man.
Yeah.
You know, evil follows.
Yeah, it's true, man. That's one true thing that I found out, man. I found out that money just brings out the wickedness in you. Like when a guy is poor, it kind of, a lot of times, it stops them from doing a lot of wickedness that they want to do. As soon as they get, it's like power. As soon as they get that power or that money, all that wickedness that was in their heart, they now have the agency to do it.
So the Bible says like man is the root of all evil.
Money's the love of money, the root of all evil, man. Yeah, man.
Because you can get money in righteousness.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Ahab said they're buying more rounds. Yeah. As soon as they get more money, they buy more rounds, man. You don't want to give these niggas money, man. That's the last thing you want to do. Be a shot.
Start moving on that power series like it.
Be a shot, then bring in. Yeah, it's a fact. I got signed. If you finished there.
Yeah, I mean, I can move off to Job 132 now.
Yeah, I got one here. This is Job 12, and because we're going into he's still going into the glory of the Lord, right, Lord? Verse 16, it says, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Yeah, so the Lord is ultimately in control of even these devils. The Bible said that the heart of the king is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. So what these devils don't understand, like, why is it that they are going to implement the mark of the beast? You know why? Because the Lord used demons to what's the word, inspire their forefathers with that vision and that plan. They don't know it's the Most High's. They didn't know it was the Most High giving them that. They probably were doing a seance or working with Satan and what's it called? What's that dude, man? What's that demon from the Apocrypha name again? Asmodeus. Yeah, Asmodeus and all them, man. And they got this vision, and they're like, yeah, the New World Order, not knowing that it's the Most High that gave you that vision. You're really on the left hand side fulfilling what the Lord wants you to do. So yeah, we need to bring in this MOTB. His prophecy, you're fulfilling the Lord's will on the left hand side. The Lord set you up. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Yeah, even you wicked Jake that fall for Esau's lies, because the Lord wants you to be destroyed. He said he leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. Right? They say hindsight, right? In hindsight, how many kingdoms has fallen, and the historians go back and they look and they're like, "Raw, why did my man do this?" Or why did my man do that? Like, well, the Lord made them do that. Ultimately, the Lord put the spirit in the mouth of his counselors, or in the mouth of those advising him, to advise him to do a thing and to convince him to do a thing that ultimately led to his own death and destruction. And the same thing goes with Esau, Edom today. They got their prognosticators and their Doctor Strange and all these different dudes, and they're guiding them to do these things that they're doing, to do what they're doing in Ukraine and do what they're doing in this, that and the other. But ultimately they're going to be shown that they were fools. He said he looseth the bond of kings and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. You can look back in history, many a mighty king, many a mighty prince, even down to our people, were led away what? In ripped garments, dirty and stinking, can't get a bath, getting whipped with a bunch of man just walking. And you thinking, raw, like 3 months ago, I was in my palace with my servants just chilling. Mussolini. Hey, let me get a picture of Mussolini. I always bring out Mussolini, man, because we could show you pictures. He was done in Italy. He was running Italy, man. Nobody couldn't say nothing to Mussolini. Can't go on.
Romans 9 verse 18 says, therefore he have mercy upon whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Right? Everybody's in the hand of the Heavenly Father, what he wants them to do. Right? Everyone's, he's in control of all people, right? All things. So thou will say unto me, thou will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who have resisted his will? And no one can resist the will of the Heavenly Father, man. Everyone's doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing.
Look at that. Look at man's face, blood. They put, listen, that was him and his wife. The great Mussolini. Let me see if we can get it on camera. See that, Arkham? They say the lead prince, because for all intents and purposes, Mussolini was a prince. He was a ruler in Italy. He was proud,
He was the defector, innit? The one that was changing sides in that, innit?
I can't confirm that.
I don't know what year it was that he was ruling.
Yeah, look at his face. That's him and his wife hanging upside down. These men were ruling Italy. Man's face looked like Elephant Man. They peppered them with bullets, man. Yeah, that's why. And it was the Lord that did that, and they didn't know. They didn't know that was gonna be their end. How could they know? They were ruling. They were on top. The year before, if someone had told them that, they would have said rubbish. No one, who, me? I'm Mussolini.
Ain't going out that way.
Hey.
But it's what you're saying, man. They you know, basically didn't think about the latter end, man. You know, and that's what he saw. He don't think about how he's gonna go out.
They never see it coming.
That's it. Well, that's why the Lord's coming as a thief in the night, because he ain't gonna see it coming, man. He thinks he's gonna achieve his ambitions, you know. Shall I finish this?
Yeah, keep going.
It says, nay, O man, let's see, so like nay, but O man, who art thou that repliest against the Most High? Shall the thing formed say it to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor?
And Esau was made unto dishonor, which the word honor means value. The word honor goes back to value. Esau was made unto dishonor, and that's why he's expendable. He's like a condom. Now a condom has its use, right? But it's not valuable. You don't keep condoms lying, or you know, once you use the condom, right, you get rid of it. Ain't nobody, oh brother, what'd you do with that condom? You know, it goes in the bin, and then it goes to the incinerator. You ain't trying to find that condom again. And that's Esau. Esau is a disposable. He's a disposable. Like, okay, for instance, you could get like a disposable container. You use that for anything. If you get like a disposable plastic container, you put anything in there. You put shit in there, man. It don't matter because
catch bug in it.
What does it matter? But then if I gave you some China now,
that comes out for special occasions only, man.
Bro, it's in the cabinet. Sometimes man don't even use it, but you know what I'm saying? Because it's a vessel unto honor. It's valuable. Jacob is likened unto that vessel to honor. We're that valuable vessel that the Lord cherish and adore. But Esau, the Lord don't care about him. He's of no value.
I don't give two shits about you.
No doubt, man. And that shows you the Lord is the nature of the Lord, because the Lord is saying he can do that, and he did do that. But these Christians will tell you something different.
That's why the Lord says that Esau have I hated.
Yep.
You know, Jacob I love, but Esau have I hated.
Yep.
Right? So the Lord can choose to do that. Yes, the Lord made everybody, but everything has a purpose for the Lord. Right? And the purpose for Esau is to be the devil, to be that example of great judgment. Right?
Even for this
Jacob is to show that great salvation, that great mercy, and you know.
Well, even I was gonna just because what you're saying, even for this cause have I raised thee up.
That's right. Yeah.
To show my power in thee.
That's right.
Esau, you're gonna be made an example out of, man. And that's why the Lord allow you to be so great and be so pompous, because in the world of men, you the man.
The greater thou are, right? The Lord's you got a high state to fall from, man. And that's what the Most High was doing. He built you up to.
He gave him all this technology, this glory, the money, the prestige, and then the Lord's just gonna destroy him, man.
Like nothing.
He got the military shaking the ground up with the military power. You know what I'm saying? Causing fire to come down from heaven. Real terrible. Listen, man, them missiles are terrible, bro. Even them weapons are terrible. What you think? Like, yeah. In the ancient world, a man might have like a sword, yeah, but a sword is silent, man. Just listen, when them when them guns are going off, it's scary, man. The boom, 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 and then them. How much more say when how much must it sound when them big fucking howitzers, anti-aircraft weapons are blasting off? And then you ever listen to RT? They play an image of a missile launch, and the bass coming out of your speakers is crazy. You're like, whoa, this stuff is awesome. It's like, whoa, like you'd be like, come on. Even when them MiGs, them fighter jets come flying past, they're loud as hell, shaking up the ground.
breaking speed barriers, bare
sonic booms and what? You know. But even with all of that, the Lord is gonna come and make him look like what he is.
Yeah.
And then the people will have to be like, raw. Well, if we were scared of Esau, then
how much more the Lord? Remember, like apocalypse, isn't it? Your Babylonians, your sticks.
yeah, the fire sticks. Yeah, man. Hey, Esau, the Lord raised him up in power so that he can make an example out of him, man. Simple as that.
Yep.
And Vocab and them guys, they're not gonna stop that. See, they're living in a bubble. Vocab and them man and them Christians are living in a bubble. He don't know what's really going on. He gonna get caught out there like a thief in the night. I know Vocab don't know what's going on with the dollar and all that stuff. He trying to sell his book, man. He trying to sell his street preaching book.
Because if you do know, why ain't you speaking about it?
He living in a bubble, man.
This guy ain't meant to talk about stuff like that.
But I'll tell you one thing for sure. When all hell breaks loose, man like Vocab, yeah, terrors are gonna come upon him, and he's gonna be haunted by our words.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the scriptures tell you about them apparitions, right? When that came upon the Egyptians, he gonna see apparitions of the elders speaking. You might see Elder Gabar, an apparition of Elder Gabar speaking. And he's like, you know, Elder Gabar might be, yeah, and you're gonna get put to death or something like that. He'll be acting all, you know. Imagine that. You just it's like you're watching a video.
All the things that we've been saying, you know about all those apostles, of course, man. People are going to bring these to mind when this shit's going down, man. And then they're going to be afraid because they're going to start believing the outcome of what we've been saying, and that they're fucked. Really, they're screwed. You know, and there's no savior for them. You know.
That's right, man. It's coming soon, man. All this backward and forward and debating. You're gonna have to eventually. You're gonna have to stand on your rock. Eventually,
where it's built on sand.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna come down to. You see all this debating. There's a saying that the proof is in the pudding. Me and you, we could debate about. Yeah, man, I could cook the best this, that, and the other. Listen, we gotta cook it up and then put it to the test. Like two boxers. You know that man at the press conference doing all the talking and yeah, back in the day when I was sparring. Listen, that's all good and well for the promotion, but the time will come when you're gonna hear ding ding ding, and both men are gonna be in that ring, and it's gonna have to get real. So it's the same thing when it comes to this truth. These Muslims, these Hindu, everyone has their own philosophy that they stand upon. Well, there's gonna come a time in this time where everyone's doctrine is going to be tested. It's going to be tested. And you ain't going to be able to fake this test. Go on.
Let me go back to the Psalm 73 and the 14. Let me start from 11 again. And they say, how does Most High know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches.
Increasing, like you said, the billionaires. You said that earlier. The billionaires and the millionaires, all them Edomites, they all increased in riches during the so-called
Right, they make it public, but you know, there's reports on it, man. People not putting things together, bro. You know what I mean? Like everyone's going through hell right now, but these man, they're cool, bro. They're better than cool.
Making more peace.
They're better than cool.
Bezos
right now, man.
and them man there.
You know, Big Pharma and them man, they're good, blood. All of them are good.
Elon.
You know, like I said, Rishi, he's alright, blood. Rishi Sunak is good. No?
Yeah, they keep making a big deal because first of all, people are acting like they didn't know that these politicians are businessmen.
Exactly.
And they use the whole point of politics is to leverage your political position to increase the wealth of you and your family.
Bro, modern day politics.
Yeah. That's just you know, these lot, that's how they are.
Everybody's in it for themselves, man.
They're in it to make money, man. When you become a senator, yeah, then doors are gonna open for you, and then you can hook up family, your wife. A lot of times their wife is gonna have corporation or whatever. So what's the big deal?
Well, let's say gift to show off the heart, man. It's all bribery, man. It's
all
all
bribery.
Leveraging their positions, to make themselves like it's more profitable, man.
They're all
That's what it
business,
comes
man.
down to. That's why war criminals can leave Parliament, yeah, and then go hold some other position and get paid mega bucks. After really, they should be convicted, But no, it don't happen to this. They're in trouble with other men. Like we read earlier, right? It don't work the same way for them, and they can go to pillar to post and still get paid.
That dude Zelensky, he's a billionaire,
That's my point.
and he was just an
He's
actor.
a plant.
He was just an actor, and then he became a billionaire because that position comes with,
Benefits.
benefits, and
Friends with benefits.
all the devil's dandruff that you could snort,
The snowy mountains.
that pure Colombian, the purest.
Gurning.
No corruption in that Colombian, mate. Trust me. Go on.
Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain, and washed my hands in innocence. For all the day long I have been plagued and chastened every morning. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generation of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
Right, it is hurtful. Because we're down here, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Not just the so-called Negroes, all our people have suffered, man. The Native American Indians have suffered injustice after injustice. Our brothers, the so-called Hispanics, suffering, man, under the hand of this man. That's something that don't really get talked about, but it's true. You look at Brazil, you look at Colombia, you look at Venezuela, and you look at it's pure suffering our people been underneath the Spaniards and the Portuguese and the Germans,
Colonizers.
the colonizers. You look at Mexico's dominated by colonizers, man. Really, our people in Mexico are suffering, man. That's why they're running and trying to run across the border, thinking they could get a piece of America, man.
And you know what? It's the truth, man. Like, because all the slavery and shit that went on in the Americas that went on, man. Who was getting, all the money? It was the Edomites, the so-called white people that are getting money. Because even the when slavery was supposed to be abolished, man. These men were still getting paid.
Yeah.
So that all that money is really going to the Edomites. It ain't the Jake that live in those lands. No one cares about the Jake in those lands. It's about keeping Edomites.
They fucking they giving up all this. Apparently, we know it's all fake. The money's getting swindled to this Ukraine situation, but they ain't never given money to Jamaica. They loan money and put them in debt, but they ain't never given no money.
I think we should have posted that video with I think it's a news program, innit? And the woman speaking against reparations for the Jamaicans and something like that. Because it happens, I think we should have posted it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she was chatting breeze.
You don't understand why we have to do this and do that. Well, don't, innit? Don't.
Yeah, but then the Amalek is still getting paid to this day from Germany.
Yep.
But that's how it is. So then that's why our people, like a lot of our people, we've been like hurt. We've been hurt by the situation. It's like we're not getting no justice.
You know what she mentioned though? She said, "Oh, but that was war." She's talking about Ukraine because that's a war. Oh, the Germans, that was a
yeah. But what happened to us was war.
That's my point, right? What makes it not war?
It's war.
War against the people, but you enslaved us. What you come to take me in it? No.
It's war.
You come and slaughtered us,
prisoners of war. Well, Montezuma, what did they do? They went over there and went to war with Montezuma and them.
That's it.
So yeah, Esau just listen. She gonna make an excuse,
of course.
Man, and pretend they don't have the money, but they do have the money to pay up. But anyway, so these devils, man, they we've been hurt because we haven't received any justice. It's 2022 and we haven't received even a little bit of justice, and it is painful. However, the comfort comes when you go into the scriptures and you see the surety of the judgment that's coming. Because they are going to pay, even though it looks like it's taking long for the payment to come and for the restitution of all things, for judgment to return unto righteousness. The judgment will return unto righteousness, man. And we're actually in that time we're going to see these devils starting to pay. And Lord willing, we're going to be of those that have the honor of actually putting these devils in captivity. And I don't think there's a sweeter feeling, blood. There ain't no sweeter feeling than when we're gonna actually be standing over these devils, man, and have them under our hand, where we could actually do what we want to do in that day. Like Vocab Malone trying to bait us out. Oh, what are you gonna do to Edomite? Listen, blood, don't worry about what we're gonna do to Edomites in the kingdom, blood. When we get to the kingdom, you're gonna find out what we're gonna do to Edomites in the kingdom.
Because we can only explain with words. The reality is going to be so much different, you know. Because we can't really convey how bad these things are gonna be for you.
All I know is you're gonna be doing a lot of crime, boy. Bit of lamentation. Got it out.
When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me.
Right, it makes your heart heavy, being in the situation, man. It makes you sad. That's why a lot of our people seek out vices, man. That's why they seek out the crack and the drugs and the alcohol, you know, and you know, overindulging in entertainment and things like that, because we're hurt. Every Jake knows there's a pain inside from this captivity, man, that man's trying to hide from. From since you was a child, you had to deal with the pain of discrimination and hate. And you know, you think it's normal, but it's not normal to grow up and live like that, man. The things that this brother had to go out, this brother, all of us had to grow up in situations and deal with things that even my kids have to deal with now. And it's like, what the hell?
Well, that, you know, we've grown up having it normalized for us. For us, it's normal, but it shouldn't be normal.
We're talking about, you might see your whole family get dragged out by the KKK and whipped. As a child, you got whipped. Your brother and your sister got whipped. Then you see your mother getting whipped. Then you see them beat your dad, whip your dad within an inch of his life. Oh no, that was in the pop, but ain't that far ago. What are you talking about? What do you think that does? What do you think kind of pain that brings? You know? Or you get you walking down the street. There was one video that came out where these so-called black children were riding through a so-called white neighborhood, and their kids were like, "Ah, oh, you niggas," da, 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 da. And then they interviewed the kids after, and you can see the kids were like, "Why are they being like this? Why are they doing this to us? Why are they treating us this way?" They were just riding their bikes, and these white boys were coming, "Ah, get out of here! You don't belong here!" Blah, blah, nigga this, nigga that. And there's a pain that comes with that, because they ain't gonna get no justice for that.
Just abuse, isn't it? Oppression. That's what it is. Oppression.
Emmett Till, I'm sure them guys didn't get done for that, did they?
That woman, the woman, she confessed on her deathbed. So yeah, nothing happened.
I don't know how long. Some years, is it?
Yeah, there's a lot of pain, man. There's a lot of pain our people have been suffering. But these scriptures become our comfort, because the scriptures is a promise of vengeance, man. And for Vocab, that doesn't sound like anything. But to us, that means a lot, man. Justice, there's a saying that injustice is a wound. When someone do something to you, yeah, you ever did a man violent and you're thinking about it for very long. You can't help it. You can't help it. You're angry. You're like, I should have did this. I should have did that. Because that injustice, that feeling, is like literally like a man cut you. It's an open wound. Yeah, but when you get that justice, it's sweet and it's healing, because then you don't have to think about it no more. It doesn't bother you.
It's off your mind.
It's off your mind now, and that's how it's.
It's not weighing you down.
It's not weighing you down, right? They say, "Oh, you got a chip on your shoulder." You damn fucking right, we got a chip on our shoulder, man.
Yeah, fucking years of oppression.
The injustice is a wound.
And our condition is not good. It's different if we came out of slavery and we just went straight to the fucking top. You know what I mean? It was different. We won't be feeling so bad about it, because you know,
still struggling.
But
man.
the fact is that we're still in plight. We're still in plight, and it's hard. It's hard to live the life with Jake.
It's hard.
It's hard. You know, it shouldn't be that after all the work that our families have put in over the years, that we're having to scrape at the bottom still. There's no justice in that. No righteousness in that.
Nah, man, it don't feel good. But guess what,
we should be fucking like, if we're not CEOs of these corporations, we should be fucking major state, shareholders of the bitch. Now, you know what I'm saying? But we're not. Yeah. We're working for fucking McDonald's for fucking $4 an hour. What the fuck, you guys are working for over there? I don't know.
and
No
nothing.
wages.
And these guys are like, it's almost like they've gotten away with everything. But you see, again, that's why the scripture's gonna say, till I go into the sanctuary. Because then you go into the scriptures, you're like, you look a fucker, you. Yeah, like you're gonna get it. It's coming. Go on now, let's read that.
Can I say a quick one, please?
Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 3 verse 15. It says, that which is now, that which have been is now, and that which is to be have already been, and the Most High requireth that which is past. Right? So I said the Lord hasn't passed judgment on your actions yet, as a nation, as a people. Right? But I don't think the Most High gonna forget.
Well, you know what, man? We asked a question a couple years ago, because you know these guys believe in hell, right? So it's like, are your forefathers in hell?
Screaming and burning.
That's a question for Vocab Malone, because they didn't repent. These men, for generation after generation, they were violating Jake. That was their mindset, right? So my question is, Vocab Malone, because he might say, well, my parents went from, okay, the parents of the people that were living in America, Mexico, all these places that were being, you know, horrible, hateful to their brother, because you say we're all brothers, right? So they were hateful to the so-called Negro, right? They died with hate in their heart. What does the scripture say? He that hateth his brother in his heart is a murderer, and murder is a sin unto death, right? My question is, are they burning in hell? They don't ever talk about that. None of these, I've never heard one of these Christian partners say, oh, all them Christians that put the so-called niggers in slavery, all these people that was lynching them, they're burning in hell. They will never say that. Is Christopher Columbus in hell?
Yeah, but this is why they want to keep the statues up. You know, they want to go and visit their graves. They want to go, you know, they want to, you know, reverence the old man.
Because deep down inside, they don't think that anyone is going to pay for anything that was done to us. Because we're like subhuman. It's like an animal, you know. You kill a, you know, when you crush an ant beneath your feet, do you feel remorse? That's how these devils operate, man, when it comes to our people, man. That's how these devils operate when it comes to us, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry with certain things that happens, you know.
Yeah, no, sometimes if I can avoid, sometimes I kill some things by accident and I'm like, damn, I could have avoided killing that
But there's something you do
thing.
intentionally, innit?
But I don't really fucking cry about it or nothing, man. I just move on, you know what I mean? I don't think I'm gonna get judged, you know what I mean? But that's how these devils act when it comes to us, man.
Yeah.
They don't feel like they're gonna get judged, man. So when are they gonna pay for it? Oh, just forget about it. It was in the past. Be a Christian, and when you die, you can go to heaven. But what about them niggas? Are they gonna be up there with me?
Yeah. Are you gonna see them when you
am
go?
I gonna be with them dudes? Not like we're saying, you know, but I'm saying like, what's going on? Yeah, man, vocab boy.
Alright, got something else?
Yeah.
Is Isaiah?
Oh no, but did you finish the one?
Did you want to read that first?
Yeah, and then we'll go. Okay, go. We're gonna finish.
This is the book of Psalm 73 and the 17. Until I went into the sanctuary of Most High, then understood I their hand.
Yeah, the end of them is not gonna be, cause that would burn you, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would burn you to all hell if Esau got away with it. Yeah, nah, man, that would be. It's like watching a movie and someone. Imagine you watch a movie. It'll hurt. Like you watch a movie and the bad guy just sailed off into the sunset. Man did a whole bunch of wickedness throughout the film, and you're expecting it's built into your psychology that at the end of this film, this guy gonna get gut. He gonna get dashed into some fire and then we're all gonna celebrate. And then I've watched films where like, nah, it don't happen. The guy just got away with it, and you feel funny. You feel like, oh.
I want him to get his justice, bro.
It feels fucked, man. That's a tragedy, like,
oh. It is. But that's by definition. It's a tragedy.
But that's not gonna happen with Esau, man. He ain't sailing off into the sunset, man. No way.
And it was always gonna be this way, man. Just purely for the fact is, man, this ain't the kingdom of heaven. His rule shit has to come to an end, right? Because this is just another unrighteous dominion on the earth.
The most unrighteous.
Because if it was righteous, the Most High wouldn't have need of taking it out. Okay, but the fact that this is an Edomite rulership at that, the worst of the heathen, right? Their time is at an end, and Yahushua is going to come and replace it. You know.
And this kingdom is just completely intertwined with LGBT. I was sitting on the train today, and they were advertising like TFL, like for traveling. And what do they have? Like, you know, two carpet munchers on there, getting ready to go out for a meal. I'm thinking, what the, you know what I mean? Every corporation is just pushing the LG to the, you know what, man?
Even just be sick, isn't it? The bank.
The bank, yeah.
They do the same thing. Put them in 2 women and children, babies, everywhere.
I like it was necessary. Ain't necessary to push on that shit.
Until they went into the sanctuary of Most High, then understood I their end.
And this is the thing, we understand Esau's end. We actually understand what is going to happen to you. Right? You might not like what's going to happen to you, and you might want to refuse it, you might want to run and try and dodge it. But it's written very clearly, very plainly. Like, all we have to do is get Obadiah and it's a wrap. But there's so many other things, or so many other precepts that mention your destruction, man. Right? And you can't keep running, man. Everything's gonna catch up to you at some point.
Well, you know what? That's the thing about the Lord, man. Like, you just because you got legs, you think you could run. Well, guess what, man? Like, go back to your boy Mussolini. I didn't see that in that image. I didn't see a lot of running going on. If he could have run, do you think if he could have escaped that judgment that came to him, you think he wouldn't have escaped? Every man in the history of this planet Earth, if they could have escaped the terrible judgment that came upon them, yeah, I'll be watching some of that live leak shit. If man could have escaped that judgment, man would have escaped. But guess what, man? When the Lord bring you into judgment, there's nothing you can. There's no earthly way you can get around it. Yeah, you have to humble yourself to your judgment, because we're not God. You can't save yourself. Only the Lord can save you in certain situations. Don't matter who you are. Many great kings, great warriors have found themselves in a bad situation that they can't get themselves out of, man, and they're looking up to the heavens for something to deliver them. It don't matter who you are, you're just a man. You can't teleport. You know what I mean? Could be a car crash. You know, like my man that happened with that thing.
Oh, the ride.
What could he do?
Yeah, no, nothing. It's finished.
It's finished, man. Can't turn back time. Freeze time, like it, you know. We're just men, subject unto the Lord. Deuteronomy 32 and 39. I am the Lord. You know, I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. I, the Lord, do all these things. Go on up.
It's the book of Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass.
And that's a spiritual thing. Because this whole earth runs on numbers anyway. The numbers of the Most High, the numerologies. Everything has a time. Time is a number, a vibration, like a song. You know, when you write a song, you have a time for, you know, this probably knows better than me because he's into the music better than me. But when you compose a piece of music, there's a time for every instrument, when it needs to come in and when it needs to go out. Well, guess what? It's the same thing that happens in this realm. There's a time for everything, for every tune. Esau's song is going to come to an end, man.
Yep.
And it ain't going to go no further. It ain't going to echo either. It's just going to come to an end. And we're at that time. So what should you be doing in these times? Seeking unto the Lord, so that when this kingdom comes to an end, you don't come to an end with it. Yeah? What are you going to do? You're gonna go down with the Titanic? Is that what you want to do? Because that's what a lot of our people look like they want to do. They on the Titanic making dinner reservations.
That's a suicide, isn't it?
They making dinner reservations for, yeah, you know what I mean. I want the steak tonight. Like, brother, the ship's done. It's sinking. Yeah, you had that band. Didn't they have the band playing? Apparently the band was playing all the way down to the end. You stupid ass thing. That's gonna be vocab.
They resign themselves to their fate.
Nah, the Lord is saying, look, man, the Lord is like the way out. He's the escape. He's the life raft. He's saying, yo, you guys are, nah, I don't want the life raft. I want my dinner. You ain't gonna be destroyed, man. I want my steak.
Recite it quickly.
Yeah.
Isaiah 43 verse 13 says, yea, before the day was, I am he, and there is none that can deliver out of my hand. I will work and he shall let it. Right? When the Most High is ready to take you, or he's got judgment waiting for you, man, that's it. He's already decreed your time. Right? And there's no one or no thing that is going to prevent that. Not no idol, not no witchcraft that you thought you man was working with. And nothing's stopping that. No technology.
Yep.
Nothing's stopping the Most High when he starts to move and do.
Yep. Hey, that's that. Like we always talk about that. The Obia man. These Jake, they got their guard ring. They go to the Obia man, so some of them even go all the way to Haiti, link up with the man them in Haiti, and they get the proper rub down, yeah. And then they think, yeah, it works. I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah. Next thing you know, man, a busting off shot and bullets are missing, and
man's like Neo in the Matrix.
Yeah, all kind of spooky shit's happening, right? So then man feel invincible. Man think like, yeah, so they do it more. Yeah. Then they get all into it. Then one day they get shot. And man's going to their funeral. But hold on, what happened to the guard ring? What happened to the aisle? Yeah?
Where was your protection?
Where was your protection then? I thought it worked. No, it works until it don't work. It only worked because the Most High didn't want you to die. If the Most High want you to die, there ain't no divination. There ain't no aisle, there ain't no gathering, there ain't no demon, there ain't no one that's gonna be able to protect you. Simple.
Right. And the Lord says it here in Isaiah 47 concerning Esau and America, man. Right? This is Isaiah 47, this is the point. Verse 12, it says, stand now with thy enchantments and with thy multitude of thy sorceries wherein thou hast labored from thy youth.
Oh, and you know what the Spirit just had me thinking? These Negroes are part of that enchantment. Because they go to the churches. They go into these churches every fucking week and pray for America. So that's an enchantment. That's not righteousness. That's because they're praying to Satan. They're praying to the white meat. So they're really because we know that really that their fuck Elon. their representation of what they call Jesus is really what? Tammuz. So they really worship after the Babylonian mystery. So they worship in Baal in them churches. So they're really praying to Baal to preserve America. They're praying to Bel. But they don't understand that, but that's what they're doing. So you Negroes are actually part of the enchantments that's trying to keep America going. God bless America.
Yep. Yep.
Pray for this great country.
That's why they have you participate in all these unholy days, man. Because it's those prayers, man. It's basically worshiping those false idols that prop up the society, which they ain't gonna pop up. No, they ain't gonna pop up none of this. Yeah. Says, I'll read it again. So stand now with thy enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Who the Most High is sending. Basically, so let them stand up against me to see if they can save you from me. That's foolishness, right? So behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee.
From thy youth, because they've been doing this witchcraft from the very beginning. From the very inception of America, it's been based upon idolatry and witchcraft. That's why they were doing wickedness and evil. They weren't worshipping Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai and doing righteousness. But all that witchcraft that they've done every step of the way, everything they do, even down to the elites, it's all based upon numerologies, and like that's why it was 9/11, and like, all these different events coincide with these different occult references to do with numerology and so forth, like 33 and all that kind of stuff, right? But that's not gonna help. There's another scripture I wanted to get in the Apocrypha. Actually, I got the Apocrypha, where it talks about the Lord sending that fire.
Fire off the bottom.
The Lord's gonna send that fire, man. There's nothing you could do. We just warning it, and for you Israelites only, there is a way for you to escape. We'll tell you straight, if you're not an Israelite, you are not going to make it out of America. Now, if you're in the rest of the world, you can make it, and that's a common misconception. They think we're saying, oh, if you're not Israelite, you're all gonna die. No, you're not. Not every heathen is gonna die in these last days. Every heathen in America is gonna die because there's gonna be no escape from them nuclear missiles. But there's gonna be heathens that are gonna be in other areas of the world that are not gonna be hit by thermonuclear missiles, and they're not gonna die by the sword, or they're not gonna die by famine. They're gonna be alive.
Because where do you think we'll get our servants from?
Exactly. Exactly. They're gonna be going into captivity though.
That's right.
You know, but they think when we're saying everyone's just gonna die, like no, everyone ain't gonna die.
Make it into captivity. You know, it's just not going to be glorious for you.
Yeah, I don't know. You might want to just die. And sometimes it's better to die than be captured, man.
Yeah.
Suffering, prolonged suffering.
Prolonged suffering.
All right, this is Second Esdras.
When they catch him.
Second Esdras 16:1. Woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Gird up yourselves with the cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? Right? Because when this thing really gets into motion, no one ain't gonna be able to sit down and say, hold on, wait, you know, peace talk. Hey, listen,
You just stop what we're doing.
it's just gonna go forward, man.
Because this isn't men's will. So you're not gonna be able to just put it to rest. Now we're gonna talk now. No.
The white flag.
The Most High, yeah. The Most High wants you to do it. You're gonna go in there. Yep.
It says, a fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent unto you, and what is he that may drive them away? May any man drive away an hungry lion in the wood, or may anyone quench the fire in stubble when it have begun to burn? And it really has begun to burn. This place has begun to be brought down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the point on that. Yeah. You still got more in Isaiah 47? We
that was the end.
We could probably just go back up to the top of that. That's a good. Yeah.
Cool. Isaiah 47 from the top. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Ooh.
Sit on the ground. There is no throne."
There you go. Because America is that country that's had that throne. They've had that preeminence among the nations, that glory. But you can see that they're beginning to be brought down into the dust. Because a real king don't sit in the dust. When you're a king, where you sit is clean, it's on high. It's the man them that's on the street level. Them man are the man that's sitting in the dust, on the dirty. Well, that's where America's going to be brought down to. And anyone that can't see, because maybe you're captivated by the shine, when they do the Oscars and all this stuff, and the glitz and the glamour. But then right outside where they do that, where you got Skid Row and come on, man, this is finished, bro. It's finished. All them cities are finished, man. Homeless people all over the place, crackheads, meth addicts.
London's supposed to be this elevated city, but when you go around London, man, you're gonna see a bunch of fucking homeless people in it, man. Licking all kind of fruit, begging you, pestering you essentially every day because they're down and out. But London's the best place for them because where the money's at. But they can't live in London.
Yeah, people are struggling.
People
man.
work can't live in London. So I don't know what they're doing there, but thinking that you're gonna get the money, you're gonna change their life around, man.
Social media, innit? It's good.
But that's what it is. This is Esau's kingdom right now. It's not as great as it's made out to be. There's a lot because there's a lot of injustice in it. That's why. It says, "O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." Because once America had that appeal to it, had that people saw it in a certain light.
It's
like it was so great.
It's untouched. Because America's never really been attacked. In all these years, even in World War II, America wasn't attacked. Not one bomb landing in America. The whole of World War II, they went one bomb. Yeah, they had the Pearl Harbor, but come on, let's be honest. Pearl Harbor's not America. Pearl Harbor's not America. That's some place some island that they had in the Pacific. Not one bomb. Did New York City get attacked during World War II? London got attacked. You know, Paris got attacked. Berlin, all these different cities of these other nations. All them nations got marred from World War II. America didn't get touched. They were sending their soldiers over there.
But that's why America became the next superpower.
That's right.
Because they were, you know, Europe was through. America helped the Europeans get back on their feet.
Yeah, Germany got mashed up twice. Except for all the factories that were owned by, you know, the bankers, you know. Yeah. Hey, girl, you know what? Someone said something the other day. Did you know that even during World War II, right? The British banks held a lot of German money. And they never confiscated the money. They paid it. They did what, because the banking system is above all that. But then he said, so the first time in history that they've confiscated another central bank's money just happened. They've never done that before, where they just took a major country like Russia, just took their money. The elites are playing games, man. But it just shows you how they're man at war, and because it's the bankers, man. They're above all of that country and stuff. You know, they operate different.
No allegiance. This is verse 2. It says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the fire, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, your beauty is being marred right now, man. People are looking at you like you're a bunch of pricks, man.
Well, the sin, because they were meant to represent like everything that was good, righteous. That's what they say. Or they said that America is the light of the world, the free world.
But they're responsible for so many despicable acts.
And everyone can see it because even their own people are exposing it. Like Alex Jones and all these truthers are exposing all the corruption in America. And so people can see it, man. So hold on, like these man are, and then all of a sudden they can see that they look at your popular media, and with popular media it's like your women are whores. You know, you got fucking what's that thing called? Jackass. And I think they're making a new one now.
Oh yeah, for the degenerates, basically.
Yeah, it's degenerate, man.
Degenerates.
What the hell is this?
Well, what's my guy's name that's been doing those vlogs? But he's saying the decadence.
Yeah, the decadence.
Yeah. Degraded. You know.
That's exactly what it is. So that's part of the nakedness being seen. Everyone's uncovering all these cover-ups because it's all out there on the internet now. It's like, raw, these people are really pieces of shit, man. These people really been doing dirt this whole time. And then now everyone's going back over all these American invasions. Oh yeah, look, you man did do that in Iraq for oil. You man did, and that's marring America now. They're losing that sense of, it's a joke now. When they try and stand up there and grandstand on some moral high ground, the average person in the world is looking at that like, are these men for real? We know exactly what you're about. Like in anyone from India, Russia, I doubt you go to Russia and find anyone that doesn't know the evil of America, man. The only place you might find people who are ignorant to the evil of America is in America itself. And it's just these people who are living in a bubble. But more time, you go to the east, you go to Africa, because I speak to people from Africa and shit. They're like, yeah, they know how wicked France is and how wicked these nations are and all the wickedness they do. So the world, that makes up the majority of the population in the world. When you're talking about Russia, China, Africa, all those regions, that's the majority of the people in the world. It's like five out of the 7 billion or some shit.
Well, the West have attacked all these nations. You know what I'm saying?
They know.
They attacked all these nations, man.
They know, man. They know. Come on, they see Biden falling over himself. The Hunter Biden laptop. That's everybody knows about that now. So what the fuck? This dude snorting, Hey, the nakedness is being seen, man. Or the nakedness represents their wickedness, their iniquity.
Shame.
It's Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things thought up?
The Lord said there's no thing hid that shall become to light, man. And that's what's happening with this world, man. All this wickedness is coming out, man. You know, and the people that are still here trying to defend America are those really that are just, you know, they're devils, isn't it? That's pretty straight. They want to gloss over the fact they did all this wickedness, man.
Oh shit! Why are we not mentioning the biolabs?
Oh, in Ukraine.
The 18 plus biolabs that are in Ukraine. Everyone's found out about that too. The whole world's found out about that. Well, hold on, you man have got biological weapons laboratories in Ukraine.
Why?
Wow. I forgot about that. So the whole world's seeing that. And Russia's telling everyone, look, these men have got fucking biological weapons labs. You gotta be a real piece of shit to be genetically modifying diseases to give to people, man. You scum. And these guys, well, now where's vocab? Where's vocab demanding answers for that? But we're the worst possible threat on the planet Earth. Man that's rolling with Bible and garment. Here it is. His man, Biden's a Christian, by the way, vocab. Yeah, but Joe Biden is a Christian. He's a duly elected Christian president of the United States of America. Yeah, go look. He's a Christian man. Yeah,
Good man.
Kamala Harris is Christian. Everyone in their cabinet, they're all Christians, yeah? And these men are creating biological weapons, and you ain't got nothing to say. But us, the Hebrew Israelites, are just reading scriptures, and he said we're the worst thing going. We're the threat. What?
Because of our words, we don't use the choice words. We don't say things like kinetic action, and you know.
My fellow Americans.
We don't use the right terms, man. You know, that's what it is. You know, but it's like someone wrote down on one of the tweets, man. You know, because Russian, they look like the bad guy and everything, right? But America got the PR. You know what I mean? They got the money for the PR, man.
Yep.
So they look good to the rest of the world because they got the narrative getting pumped out there.
Well, actually, no, they don't.
Well, not anymore.
The rest of the world actually believe Russia. That's what I'm trying to say. If you really look at it, okay, look at India. India, over 1 billion people. I think it's more than that now.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
If you look at the population,
The other nations.
the rest of the nations that are on Russia's side actually represent a larger portion of the planet than what them man have over here.
Yeah.
So really, the majority of the people on the earth don't believe America at all. They believe Russia. Brazil, China, that's another 1 billion and other people. Fucking India, the BRICS.
Yep.
And all them African nations believe Russia. They know what's going on. Esau's, the only people Esau's fooling is
West.
and it ain't even everyone, because you got a whole bunch of people on TikTok exposing it. Where they from?
Yeah, true.
They got to censor their own people. They got to shut down their own people from talking, because even these own devils are exposing Hunter Biden's laptop. So they're losing, man. Really, the West, America's losing its juice. They're losing their power of deception over the world. That veneer of righteousness that they might have had for a particular period of time is really completely gone, man. There's no one trusts them no more. Everybody knows what's up. You know? That's that nakedness.
This is verse 3. Did you read it?
Yeah,
And that's why they had to shut down RT.
Yeah, shut it off, innit?
They shut that off, man. But it's the free world, isn't it? You know what I mean?
It's a propaganda machine. Yeah, well, what's ours then? Our news networks, all the same shit, man.
Well, the book of Isaiah 25:7, and he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people, and the veil that is spread over all nations.
Yeah, these lies, man. These lies. Esau and his lies and his propaganda, man. In the end, it's all going to be destroyed, man. And that's beautiful. It's going to dissipate, beginning with the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. That's going to be a world of truth. And we haven't lived in a world of truth for a very long time. This world is so inundated with lies. So many things we just believe to be gospel is a lie. Fabrications, deceptions. But in our world, we're not gonna lie. What we gonna have to lie about? We're gonna tell the truth, man. Our world is gonna be a world of truth, man. People are gonna learn the truth, true history, true knowledge. It's not propaganda, twisting shit and sick.
What is that?
Yeah.
2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which have been so long without fruit, shall be declared. Right? And that begins with us, begins with Yahweh Shai. You know? Because we're going to completely turn around what this world is right now. It's going to do a complete, 360, 180, whatever, you want to call it, man. It's going to completely change to what we know now. Right? People are going to become much more enlightened after the event.
They'll be living in the light.
You know?
Yeah, you're right. This world is in darkness, man. You talk to the average person in the UK, they don't have no idea what's going on, man. They don't have no idea about nothing. They're in darkness, man, on every level. On every level, they're in darkness and deceived. So much of what they believe is just a straight up lie. And you know what happens when you just tell a lie over and over and over again? Even down to our identity. That's why nobody knows we're the Israelites. Because they told that lie and they repeated it over and over and over again. To the point where our people don't even, you can't even
Kind of convincing the princes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
they don't want it. They don't want
it. It's a downgrade, isn't it?
Oh, shit. Back in Isaiah 47 verse 3, it says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man.
Because the Lord is actually going to be here to preside over, because America's going to start getting judged, but the main judgment, that fire, Yahweh Shai is actually going to be here to witness it, man. He's actually, the chariots are going to be over America while it's getting pelted with fire, man.
Special delivery.
Bombs away.
Yeah. They will do that. This is as for our Redeemer, our Redeemer.
Well, who said that? Was it Isaiah?
It's Isaiah. Yeah.
So when he said our, was he talking about mankind? He's talking about ours in, because Isaiah was writing, the book of Isaiah was written from the perspective of an Israelite speaking to other Israelites. And they try, this is the madness of it. They try and make it look like it's a book of mankind. No, Isaiah's, what Isaiah was writing.
It's a prophet to Israel.
Yeah. We're Israelites. Alright. Damn little punks. Anyway, go on.
You know, because
I was about to violate them. I said, you know what? I thought they were trying to,
Hey, maybe
I was gonna violate them differently, like start running anyway. Go on.
But yeah, Isaiah was always speaking out because he's speaking back on behalf of his people, man. You know, because who's the nation that the Most High revealed himself to?
The Israelites.
Israelites, man.
It's from our perspective, our point of view. So when he said us and our, he wasn't talking about mankind.
To pick it up.
Yeah, otherwise he would have went to them. You can't even show where did any of the prophets just like, if this book was so much about mankind, then the prophets would have just been raised up everywhere and just be man from Elam, just like, yeah, us and our, and there's a deliverer that's gonna come. No, I didn't know that. Isaiah and the man were concerned. They were racist. Listen, Isaiah and the man were racist, man. See, they're going, oh, you going on our bread? Our people back in the day, we had a very nationalist mentality, man. That's why even Ezra said, these man, he said, look at these man here lording over us, like, what go on for them? These men who ever been refuted is nothing, man.
Because they knew the order of things, man. You know, they knew what these heathens were about. They weren't on the level, man. But just because you perceive yourself to be better, or that we are better, it don't mean we do what Esau does. And other assholes in the earth. You know what I'm saying? We did trade.
You could trade with honor.
We ain't going around destroying people's nations and taking this shit.
Lying.
You know, lying. And we didn't do all that. You know, that's what Esau does when he's in power.
Well, them Amalekite, they say that you could lie to the Goyim, so that's why they just you can't do a deal with them guys. They're not trustworthy, man. Yeah. You gotta trust them guys at all. Them guys are wicked, man. What about Isaiah, right? You know, when he was preaching, not just Isaiah, Jeremiah, all these guys. When you look at Esdras, he said, "Oh Lord," he asked about Israel, and then remember the Lord said to him, "What do you think you love my people more than me?" But hold on, how come he wasn't making inquisition for the entirety of mankind? He weren't even thinking about mankind. He was thinking about, yo, my people, Israel, like, what's gonna happen with us? How are we gonna be delivered?
Because why would he be inquiring about his oppressors? Why? We need saving. You know
the fact that we got a generic term, yeah, that just covers these people, just shows you what time it is, man.
Yeah.
But you see, vocab and that don't want us to be in that spirit, where we got the mindset of the prophets. The prophets' mindset, they were Israelites, and they were sent to the Israelites to speak to the Israelites about things concerning them, about their future, about the promises which were made to them, about the mercy which is prophesied unto them. But like I said, these guys make it about mankind and they start talking about Adam. Isaiah wasn't talking about Adam. I don't remember anywhere where Isaiah was like, yeah, the everyone that come from Adam. No. You know, it's about the seed line, the seed of Abraham, my friend.
And that's why also the prophets were raised out of Israel.
Every single last one of them, man.
And that we're not meant to give heed to the other nations. So it's not possible for a prophet to come out of another nation. It's not possible.
Yeah.
You got something quick? Oh, no.
It's the book of Isaiah 55:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with an everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed, no confounded, word without end.
So who else was promised? Who was promised that? Was anyone else promised with the everlasting salvation? No. It's purely the Israelites. And that's why we're not going to be confounded. Because at the end, it's us that's going to be, receive the deliverance. You know? No one else has got that promise.
And they want to make us ashamed of that. They want us to share it, and when they never shared their kingdom.
You can't just share it. It's not ours to share.
It's not sharing, man. They've had their kingdom. They've had their rulership, man. You know, they've had their time. You know, now you could say you don't believe the Bible.
You want the VIPs +1, innit?
Yeah, +1. Nah, man.
You know, +1s. Nah, you're not +1 in nothing.
You could say you don't believe in the Bible, and that's for you to say. But then you can't. What you can't do is say that what is in the Bible is not the truth that we're speaking, man. And that's what vocab and them try and do. When blatantly, if you analyze the law and the prophets, going from the book of Genesis to Exodus. If you analyze the book of Genesis is a story which is all about culminating with Israel, right? Because if you look at who it focuses on, yes, it does speak about Adam, but it speaks about Adam in terms of a specific seed line, and then it goes into Noah, right? But then from Noah, does it really follow Ham?
No.
There's no real. It doesn't tell you what Ham was doing.
It set out the backdrop for the curse of Canaan.
Yeah,
because why? Because we would eventually be in that land.
Again, and then so even when Canaan comes back into the story, it's in relation to us.
That's right.
It's like that seed line, like even when it goes through Selah, right? And then it talks about Eber, right? But then it goes into Abraham, and once it picks up Abraham,
it leaves the rest of them.
It doesn't go back and say, well, okay, this is what was happening with Japheth. It don't actually tell you anything about what Japheth, any of them man were doing. So the focus is on a particular seed line, and then so once you get down to Abraham, then it's focusing on Isaac and who he marries, and where is it focusing on?
Ishmael.
Yeah, and these guys, and
when he was around Abraham, Ishmael was there, but when he wasn't there,
exactly,
he wasn't being spoken about.
So it's almost like the story, the narrative centers are always led up to that particular seed line of people, and then once we came on the scene. I mean, come on, let's go through all the different books. You go through Exodus about the Israelites coming out of Egypt. The only time other nations are mentioned is in relation to something that's going on with Israel. Then you go to the book of Numbers, the numbering of Israel. Yeah, then you get Leviticus and Deuteronomy, which were the laws, which were exactly detailed to Israel. Then you go into the book of Joshua, which is all about what? Israel going into the promised land that was promised to them. And then it only mentions the other nations in interaction with Israel. We could go all day. Then we go into the judges. It's all about the judges that were raised up for Israel. Again, it only mentions anything to do with the other nations, any history, where it's in relation to us. And we can go on and on all day. Yeah, we could go on and on all day to show you how the focus of the narrative, but then hold on, they want to get to the New Testament now, and all of a sudden they want to make it look like the narrative is now a universal and general narrative for the whole of mankind.
I mean, we quoted it earlier, but the eye of the Lord changed not.
There you go.
The narrative has never changed.
Because where was the New Testament set? And who were all the key players?
Yeah.
And any other nations that were mentioned, i.e. Pontius Pilate, i.e. Claudius of Rome, it was only mentioned in consistency with the narrative for Israelites and the ministry.
And that's what I say, all these other areas that I mentioned that are outside of Israel is mentioned because Israelite foreigners were there.
There you go.
That is the only reason. I just want to get this quickly. It's Amos 3 verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth. Right? I don't need to read the rest of it because that's the point.
We're done talking.
I'm talking, right? That's the point. You know?
Christians,
Yeah, we follow the Bible, yeah.
but you like to pick its pieces as well.
Yeah, of course. That's how you meant to read it.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be read, you know?
That's how it's meant to be read.
Yeah.
Christian.
What's that?
Oh yeah, we do. Well, we.
Oh, yeah,
Of course, of course.
You have to make things make sense, you know?
So you do a video
To teach others, yeah.
to teach others,
Mhm.
for other Christians
Whoever wants to hear.
Other Israelites,
or other religions.
Not really concerned about other religions.
other Israelites, people that want to hear the truth of the Bible. Whoever have an ear to hear, let them hear.
You've got churches they can go to.
Yeah, but the churches don't teach what we teach. That's for sure.
Do you have a different method of teaching? Do you teach different?
Yes, we do. Yes.
So you don't believe the Bible, you have your own version?
No, we believe what is actually in the Bible. We don't teach according to the doctrine of, for instance, Catholicism, or the Pentecostal, or what they might call the Protestant branches, because they have their interpretation of the Bible. We don't interpret the Bible in the same way as they do. Yeah. Go on, man.
So do you think a lot of people will listen to what you're saying?
Yes, a lot of people do listen. They're listening right now. Go on now.
Broadcasting right now.
That's right. Worldwide.
Okay,
So
yeah.
whose idea was it to do this?
The Spirit, man.
Spirit.
That's right. Go on, let's
So
read.
book of
Man.
Genesis
It lives in each
17 and the
and me as well.
I don't know. Does it live in you?
I think so.
No.
I think so.
We'll find out. Go on out. Let's read
You
this.
do. The day you die, it all comes out, doesn't it? The day
Something's
you
gonna
die,
come out.
it all
Edit.
comes out.
Go on out.
so book of
That's
Genesis,
right.
Genesis 17 and 17.
Crusty.
Then Abraham, I'm sorry for
That's just one of them old gargoyles, blood. Them church gargoyles, blood.
the book of Genesis 17 and 15. And the Most High said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be, and I will bless her, and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
Which is the Israelites. That's not talking about Ishmael and all them, man. Even though they have their own kings, when it said the kings are gonna come from her, it's talking about the Israelites, because it said we shall be a nation of a kingdom of priests.
Yep.
The Lord hath made us kings and priests. So it's really talking about Israel.
Then Abraham,
Well, yeah, because obviously, because Ishmael doesn't come from Sarah anyway. So that just proves it right there. Yeah, Salakia.
then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed, and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
Yeah, he's up in age, man. Like them things at that point in time would just seem impossible. That's why it's really a miracle. You know, plus Sarah was barren at the time. Yep.
And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? And Abraham said unto Most High, Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And Most High said,
Nay.
Sarah, thy wife, shall bear thee a son indeed.
So, like I said, if it's about these other nations, why didn't the Lord just pick Ishmael? Ishmael was Abraham's eldest son. So if it was about these other nations, no, the Lord, they weren't dealing with that. No, they're going to be their own thing. They're going to do their own thing. But you're going to have another son that I'm going to give you, that you're going to pass the promises on. That's the way it was. Yep.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac, and I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant.
Right, so the Lord had in his mind to establish a covenant with Isaac, not with Ishmael, not with anybody else prior to Abraham. You know, the Lord chose a specific line, a specific seed to go down.
You know, I got you, man. I got you, because we go into the book. This sums up what we're saying about the narrative. This the book of Sirach 44, right? When you read verse 1, it says, let us now praise famous men and our fathers that begat us. So the famous men are all in the lineage. They're all in the bloodline, right? The Lord hath wrought great glory by them through his great power from the beginning, right? Such as did bear rule in their kingdoms, men renowned for their power, giving counsel by their understanding and declaring prophecies, right? So yeah, it's that, you know, you getting the point. Now I want to jump down. Listen to this now, yeah? Verse 10, but these were merciful men whose righteousness hath not been forgotten. With their seed shall continually remain a good inheritance, and their children are within the covenant. So the only children that are within the covenant, right, go back to these men that he's going to talk about, right? Now it says, their bodies are buried in peace, but their name liveth forevermore. The people will tell of their wisdom, and the congregation will shew forth their praise. Now it goes, Enoch pleased the Lord, right? We know Enoch is mentioned as part of that seed line, yeah? When you go into the Genesis, he's a direct forefather, right? Yep. Enoch pleased the Lord and was translated, being an example of repentance to all generations. Noah, right, was found perfect and righteous in the time of wrath. He was taken in exchange for the world. Therefore was he left as a remnant unto the earth when the flood came. An everlasting covenant was made with him, that all flesh should perish no more by the flood. Now listen up. Abraham. So he jumped straight to Abraham. You don't mention no one else. Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him, who kept the law of the Most High and was in covenant with him. He established the covenant in his flesh, and when he was proved, he was found faithful. Therefore he assured him by an oath that he would bless the nations in his seed, and that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth, and exalt his seed as the stars, and cause them to inherit from sea to sea, and from the river unto the utmost part of the land. With Isaac did he establish likewise, for Abraham his father's sake, the blessing of all men. Now they might all men, it's from my Israelites counts, and the covenant, and made it rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing, and gave him an heritage, and divided his portion among the 12 tribes did he part them. So we see that in the narrative of the scriptures, once we get to Jacob, the whole narrative is now focused on Jacob and the 12 tribes. So that's why from the time you get the end of Genesis, right, and the tribes go into Egypt, from then on, the entire Bible from then on literally follows the narrative of the 12 tribes down to the time of the judges. Then you get the time of Saul.
Kings, yeah.
Now it wasn't detailing all the other kings and what they were getting up to. You know, it goes into the Saul, then it goes into David, right? That's in the book of Samuel, right? And then you go from the book of Samuel into what? The book of Chronicles, and the book of Kings. Yeah. And what is that all detailing? Israel.
And the only time these other kings of other nations are mentioned is when we come in contact with them.
In relation.
Yep.
Right, to the narrative. It's like a movie when these other You got the main the main antagonist, or the who this movie's really about, and then you get other people in the movie that might just turn up, extras and whatever. And then what did you have after that? The prophets. So the Bible is made up of the law and the prophets. When you go into the prophets, Isaiah sent to the Israelites because the Israel sinned. Jeremiah, same thing. Hosea, same thing. Ezekiel, the same thing. Obadiah, right? He prophesied against. But it was still pertaining to what? Because when you read in the book of Obadiah, what does he say that Edom is going to be punished for? Because of violence against thy brother Jacob. Yep. So even the book of Hosea, the focus, and it also mentions, if I'm not mistaken, the salvation for Israel in the same chapter.
Hosea.
Yeah, in Hosea, right? Israel shall I'm sure it mentions about salvation. So who else? Malachi. Malachi is talking about that messenger that was going to be sent for Israel. He was so all the prophets are talking about, none of them are talking about mankind. Not one prophet came and said, oh, I'm the messenger of the Most High to mankind. Now, did they ever mention of the other nations? Yes, they mentioned how Babylon was going to be raised up and then it was going to go down. It mentions about Moab getting judged. Normally it's literally, when they mention the other nations, it's talking about judgment as coming to the other nations. But never was there no narrative that was really, the Bible is not about Israel, it's about mankind as a whole. That's not a narrative that's within the Bible.
And then they want to make it sound like it changed, in the so-called New Testament. But when did it change? How did it change? The Lord is consistent.
Well, my man said he was sitting there waiting for the consolation of Israel.
That's right.
How could it change when it would have been based upon what they've read before or what the prophets have said before?
But that's the thing, these Christians don't really deal a lot with the Old Testament. That means they've got no grounding for the scriptures that they read.
Sorry, I'm a Christian. I believe in the Old Testament. I understand what you mean about the New Testament, or the conservation of Israel. I completely understand.
But
No buts now.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
trying to
okay.
figure out where you guys are headed to. Just trying to get to the crux of what you guys are.
The crux of what we're saying is, like, basically, because through Christianity, which was set up through the Catholic Church, they've preached a universalism. So they preach that basically salvation through the Messiah is for everyone, regardless of your nationality or your seed, which is contradictory to what the prophecies state, that the Messiah is supposed to be sent for the seed of Abraham, for the Israelites,
Right.
for their salvation, for their restoration as the chief nation in the earth.
Okay.
That's the true narrative that actually is put forth in the scriptures. Whereas Christianity teaches that salvation is about saving mankind, saving man. Where it's not. It's about the salvation of Israel.
So you're saying there is no concept of salvation for the rest of other nations apart from Israel?
No, not according to prophecy.
So the suffering servant in Isaiah 53 was just for Israel.
The what, sorry?
The suffering servant of Isaiah 53 was just for Israel.
That's what it says. Because Isaiah was sent to the Israelites. So he said, if we read it, let's get Isaiah 53.
So
He was
what is
bruised for
happening
our
in Isaiah
transgressions.
60 then, when it says arise and shine, the Gentiles will see the glory of God.
Oh, we'll get it. We'll explain it.
do you know what happened to the nation of Israel?
Since when?
Well, since the split,
Isaiah
do you know what
53.
actually happened to them?
bruised for us.
In terms of during the 400 years of like after Malachi.
So let's say before the Lord came on the scene, do you know the history of what surrounded Israel at that time?
Yes, not
So what happened to them prior?
yes. The Greek Hellenization. The
So
Roman
you'll
Empire.
get an understanding why they were being called Gentiles.
Yes.
This is what we're going to get
Yeah.
into, because
Right.
they weren't a part of what was going on
Sure,
at the court.
sure, no.
You know.
Yeah, we'll break it
Sorry,
down.
Just I don't want to waste your time, guys. I'm sorry to disturb. Just to understand what's your back like. Is there a particular name for your
We're Israelites. We're Hebrew Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites?
Right. Of the church is a great millstone, but our identity is we're Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
Go and read that.
Do you believe in
because
Jesus?
We will believe in, well, that's not how you pronounce it, but yeah, we believe in the Messiah, which is written of in the Holy Scriptures.
Right.
That's
And
what we
he's
believe
come
in.
And he's no more coming back, is it?
No, he's coming back.
Coming back.
Oh,
mean,
listen,
he's way off.
100%, because that's what is written.
Yeah.
We believe in everything which is written in the Scriptures.
Absolutely. And
Yeah, we don't have no, we're not trying
I'll tell you
to.
this much, I believe all roads are leading to Jerusalem in terms of eschatological events into the future.
Okay.
I think Israel is the key player in terms of God's purposes. It is an eternal covenant. God entered into Abraham, on that night when he cut covenant with Israel. He's a covenant keeping God, and that blessing was for the nations, is my understanding.
Yeah, but that's not what's in the Scriptures.
I'm talking from Genesis. It was for the nations, yet God specifically loves Israel, and I believe.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no basis for him saying that the covenant is for the nations.
When did
He
go
made
to
a
the
he
nation
made a
with
covenant with the nation of Israel. That was it. It began with Abraham, and then that covenant went from Abraham to Isaac, onto Jacob, and onto the 12 tribes. And that's it. There was no covenant with the other nations.
You've caught me off guard in terms of how to bring a different viewpoint.
I hear you. I know.
Very interesting.
But let me read Isaiah
You guys
60.
carry on.
No,
Yeah, thank
real quick before you leave. Let me read Isaiah 60. We're gonna read it
6:03.
because you mentioned Isaiah 60, right?
Yeah.
Isaiah 60. Let's get Isaiah 60 before you go. Now the thing is that anyway, let's read it and then read it. Isaiah 60.
I need to go.
Oh, you gotta go? Okay, all right, no worries, man. All right, no worries, man.
You guys take care.
Okay, all right, take care, man. See, man was gonna
Read it anyway, innit?
yeah, no, we'll read it, but he was gonna
He didn't want to say when the
he,
scripture come out though.
he left before, man. You see, but it's a spirit. If the spirit wanted him to get it, he would have stayed. I tried to wheel him in, but it was like something was pulling him. You get me? Just before, man. I was
I
like,
think his woman's up here, isn't it?
oh, okay, well there you go, man. Yeah, it's not my fault. I tried. Hey, come on, man. Hey, cause you never know. He could be a Jake. I don't fucking know. I was just got to, you know. Anyway, go on.
It's the book of Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For
Right, and who's the light? We know who the light is because it tells you in the book of John that Yahweh Shai is that great light. But who was the first light? John, right? Because there was a greater light, which is the truth, which is Yahweh Shai. So Yahweh Shai represents that light, yeah? Okay.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and the gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee. And
The Lord shall arise upon who? Thee. Now, when Isaiah was writing this, who was he talking to? This is why this is what we gotta understand. Isaiah was talking to the Israelites. He said, look, the light is gonna rise upon thee. He wasn't talking about to mankind. It wasn't no blanket stage. People gotta remember that Isaiah was actually alive. When Trump goes to, you know, what am I saying Trump for? When Biden was doing his presidential campaign and he went to Iowa and he said, I'm gonna help you. Does that, when he said I'm gonna help you, was he talking about, no, he was talking about American citizens.
I'm gonna get you jobs.
He was talking, you know,
Oh, yeah.
you gotta put it into context, right? Was he talking about me? No, because he's a president of America. He was talking to them. So everything has to be put in context. Isaiah was a prophet who was sent to the Israelites, who was sent to call the Israelites to repentance.
You know what's even crazier? I'm pretty sure a lot of these scriptures, they have like a preface on the
Yeah,
text.
and it will say, yeah.
They tell you that, oh yeah, Isaiah sent to the Israelites or whatever, you
Come
know.
on. The Israelites never had a mindset towards mankind. Come on, man. Anyway, go on now.
but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
His glory, now that's when you got to go precept upon precept. There's a million scriptures where the Lord said, and I shall be sanctified, and the heathen shall know that I am with Israel. Israel is the one that the Lord's glory is going to be seen upon. And you could back that up with 1,000 other scriptures that mention that. That's why you got on that demon said we're jumping around. That's why you got to go precept upon precept and line upon line. Go on, read on.
And the Gentiles shall come to the light, to thy light. And
Right, the word Gentile simply means foreigners. Now, who are these foreigners that's going to come to the light? Well, it's going to explain it further down the verse. That's why the scriptures speak about dark sayings. Go on, read on.
And kings to the brightness of thy rising.
Go on.
Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together.
All day, who's the they? Who's the they that are going to gather themselves together? Let's read on.
They come to thee, thy sons.
Oh!
Who is the sons?
What? So now you're going to tell me those Gentiles are their sons? Is that, if they're their sons, then that means they're the same people. Come on.
Brethren according to the flesh.
The seed. Go on.
Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side.
Say it's self-explanatory. That light is to draw the children of Israel back, the sons and the daughters of Israel.
Because they were scattered far.
Going up. We could finish that up and we'll close up.
Then,
well, the light is like a beacon. Yeah. Yeah. Because I had the scripture here. I was ready. Matthew's 15.
That's right.
Right? Because they're lost and they need a beacon to come back.
Yeah.
Right? That's what the light is all about. This is what this word is. Right?
Kind of like that light that we by night that we were using to
to guide. Yeah, to guide us. That's right. Matthew 15 and 24, Yahushua said this, right? It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He's there to bring them back.
Yeah.
You know, because they're out here, they're out in the world, lost out of their minds, believing believing themselves to be Greeks or wherever they, wherever they're coming from. You know, and then we're being guided back to the Father, to the Word, the truth. Okay, we play that same role now. Yep.
Yep.
This is the book of Baruch 4 and 36. Oh Jerusalem, look about. This is the book of Baruch 4 and 36. Oh Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from Most High. Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away.
He sent his sons away. Right? We should know the story, the history that went on, right? That's the things that these Christians don't focus on. They don't talk that. They don't talk about the history of the Israelites.
Well, at least
he
mentioned the Hellenization period, so he knew a little something.
Well, that's what I said. Do you know what went on before, prior?
He actually mentioned the Hellenization period, so I was impressed.
But they still don't want to. But he still don't want to incorporate it into the understanding.
Yeah.
You know, because they still want to believe that anyone can receive salvation. Because it sounds like one of them fantastical things that you just want to say. You know, but it just ain't the truth.
They come gather together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Most High.
In the glory. That goes back, the glory shall be, yeah?
Yep. They again gathered together like a beacon, it brings in. The word is that beacon right now, because Yahushua is back in the spiritual realm. He gave us the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is what we're using now to
man ran.
in.
He ran from the beacon, blood.
Yeah, they ran around. Well, again, they love darkness and not light.
Yeah, man. He ran. He literally ran into the darkness, blood.
Yeah,
blood. He ran out of time anyway.
The book of Isaiah 6 and 5. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of Gentiles shall come unto thee.
Right, these other nations, if they come, they're coming to be in slavery. They're coming to bring their goodies.
Yep.
That's what they're coming for. To be ruled over. Just like how it says in Isaiah the 2nd chapter. that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be placed upon the top of all the mountains, man. No matter which way you slice it, the only thing that's for that the scriptures prophesied towards these other nations is to be beneath.
Servitude.
Simple as that. And we ain't ashamed, man. You know, it just is what it is. Listen, man, that's you don't see man crying because the animals a bit, you know what I'm saying, like, and ants. You know what I'm saying, bro? These dudes want to take up for every. Listen, man.
We're not bad people because we believe in the words of the Heavenly Father.
Just order, man. There's just order in life, innit? And them man are below. Everybody can't be on top, and everybody can't be the same. Some man have to be above. Some man have to be below.
But at the same time, they're happy with Esau's rulership. He's at the top, right?
Yeah, they ain't got a problem with that. Fuck out of here, man. Oh, bro.
He's been allowed to get away with slavery and all this bullshit, and they still accept him.
And
but no, we want our turn now. You can't do that.
No. and the thing is, really, there should never have been no turns. We are the rightful rulers.
That's right.
Esau's a usurper.
All these nations usurp.
Yeah, you're right. Salakia. They're all usurpers. We are the rightful, royal, the ones which have the correct the correct blood to fit that vibration of rulership, man.
Bloodline. Nobility. We are the nobles of the earth. We're the nobility.
By blood.
You know?
By blood. By our DNA. Yeah, our DNA is designed for that, is the key to that. You get me?
Yeah.
These men ain't got the right ingredients.
Chosen by the Spirit, confirmed in blood.
Confirmed in blood. We were made for that. Yeah? Not these other nations. They were made to serve, and it ain't that deep. It is what it is.
But this is the thing. The only reason why other nations have begun to rule over the earth is because of our own transgressions.
Oh, goodness gracious.
That was the only reason.
So the narrative again was based upon us.
Yep.
It's true. Because if we never broke the commandments, they wouldn't be nowhere. Because the scripture says, look, if you keep my commandments, you'll be above all these nations.
Yep.
So it no matter what they did, even if they did the right thing, they would still be below. Goodness gracious, man. The narrative is secure. And they want to argue with us, man. You can't argue with us, man.
Right and secure, sayings final.
No way of turning or shadow of turning, man. Go on, Art.
The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries
that practicality
of
bro.
Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praise of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The lambs of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar,
Yes.
and I will glorify the house of my glory.
The house of his glory, which is Israel. Because if you're trying to say that other nations are going to be joined onto us, that would make the Most High a liar. Because the Most High said, what did he say? He said, Israel shall dwell alone. What did he mean like that? We're going to be separate.
Not be sharing power.
We're not going to be sharing.
Under nobody.
The heathens that's going to be amongst us are going to be our servants. Just like the hewers of wood and the drawers of water and the mixed multitude that these men like to bash off about. what about the mixed multitude? They were slaves, lad. The mixed multitude, they didn't get no inheritance. They were the servants that we had.
According to our law.
Fuck is you talking about mixed multitude? They never. So show me where the mixed multitude and Moses said they shall have an inheritance for it. Nah, man. He spoke to the Israel. The mixed multitude couldn't par with the holy things. The holy things were only for the Israelites. Yep. About mixed multitude. Get the fuck out of here. There's gonna be a mixed. Hey, listen. I'll tell you this for free, Brad. There's gonna be a mixed multitude in the kingdom. Yeah. You better believe there's gonna be a mixed multitude out there. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? You got anything else?
Working them fields.
Oh man, they're gonna be all the multitude.
Who are these that fly as a cloud and as the doves to their windows? Sure, the highest shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first to bring thy sons from far.
Again, it's showing you who the subject matter of the salvation is. The sons of the people that he was talking to, because we are the sons of those people.
Yep.
Yeah. Ye. Go on.
To bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he has glorified thee.
Glorified thee. Who was he talking to? The Israelites. Go on.
And the sons of strangers
The other nations.
shall build up thy walls, and their kings.
So what role is the other nations gonna play?
Bob the Builder, but Bob the Builder.
What role are the other nations gonna play, and what role are their kings gonna play?
Bob Aram the Builder, but
Because this proves that the other nations are gonna be there.
yep.
But what role is it that they're gonna play?
Slave labor.
They're gonna be there to minister to. What does it mean to minister unto us? Meaning, whatever you need, my Lord. What do I require?
Bended knee.
I have work for you to do, my son. Go on.
Yeah, and the sons of strangers shall build up thy
Son
walls.
them. We're gonna son them. Go on. Son, the strangers shall build up our walls. Our walls gonna need. We were discussing that. It's practical. We're going. You know what I mean? Someone got to build it.
Dig that hole.
Dig it up.
Put the foundation down.
And we say that, and they say we're crazy. How the kingdom of heaven is going to be built with manpower?
No, they like how Esau got it running AIs and robots taking everyone's jobs and kicking man out the street and shit. They must like this way of living.
No, but it's going to be built with manpower, with the other nations. That's their role in the narrative, and that's what their role was always meant to be.
My man's come back at the end of it.
To hear that, man. I guess it's sealed in the spirit, man. He definitely heathen, man. The man come back just as man talking about slavery, but they got the breakdown. There we go.
Yeah, and their kings shall minister unto thee, for in my love.
Right, their king. When you meaning, because we're gonna have an empire, just like so their kings are gonna be under us. So their kings are gonna be just like how Hiram was, maneuvering his people to sort out Solomon. They're gonna be sorting us out, man.
Yeah,
What do we need?
The nobles of your clans, your nations, they're going to be subservient.
When we need that cedar wood, I ain't going out to get that. You gonna go get that and bring that. Come.
I declare a summons.
Order, put in the order. Yeah, then the Amazon Prime have to come true.
Yeah.
Well, them heathens are already on the Amazon Prime thing. Anyway, go.
For in my wrath.
Hey, them heathens be running that Uber Eats and that, blood.
For in my wrath I smote thee.
Who did the Lord? When Isaiah said in the wrath he smote thee, he was talking about Israel because they're gonna get judged. They're gonna get put into captivity. Go on.
But in my favor have I had mercy on thee. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought.
Whose kings? The kings of the other nations. There's a separation there. Go on.
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Sin.
Oops. Well, how do we even get around this? How does what? Oops.
They I don't know, but they like to just forget that and concentrate on the they want to twist up another scripture.
Yeah, because he mentioned
supposing negates that.
He mentioned Isaiah 60, man. He brought it up. I didn't bring
If you're bringing out scriptures to negate other scriptures, man, you're not reading the book consistently. You know what I'm saying?
He
Everything
didn't.
has to run nice.
Hey,
together.
bro, he brought it up.
I know. That's what I
He
mean.
brought up Isaiah 60, and then we're reading it, and it's just talking about bare slavery. What's going on? I guess he stopped at the verse 2, innit? Then read the whole thing. Good. Wait. Actually, yeah. He come back to hear it though.
Yeah. So that's what they managed to get through at, his church or wherever he goes to. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
right?
The Gentiles
Yeah,
and the
that's it.
light shall come upon the Gentiles. Yeah, what's
That's
that got to do with other nations being saved, my man? And the covenant?
Well, his concept of salvation doesn't know what that is.
No.
Evidently,
Go on, no.
Therefore thy gate shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of Gentile, and their kings may be brought, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish, yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So that's how much the Most High cares about these other nations. It's not high on his list of things he likes.
But that sounds to me like ruling with a rod of iron.
Yeah. There's no choices in this. This is what you will do. If you don't do, there's consequences. And the Lord ain't worried about putting your whole nation to famine. The Lord ain't concerned. The Lord got his people where they need to be.
Yeah. Glorified.
What happens to you
exalted.
now is just, part and parcel,
You're going to be there to supplement our lifestyle.
That's it.
And in the meantime, you'll have your own little lifestyle. Simple. But hold on, actually, there's a scripture I was reading the other day about the simple lifestyle, how that is good for a man. But then it speaks. Oh, hold on, let me get this. Because even them, they're gonna once their punishment period is over, there's nothing wrong with the simple lifestyle. That's how a man was meant to live on earth. You have enough. You got your food, and you got your wife, and you got. They're gonna be able to live.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're gonna be doing a lot more than living, and I got the proof of that. Let me get this scripture real quick, because I was reading it in the Apocrypha the other day. I was like, damn. Upgrades. Oh, does this not have the Apocrypha search? Hold on, I gotta get this scripture. Oh, okay, you get me. This scripture's bad to the bone.
Did you want to put it in here?
Oh, is that an Apocrypha search?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Yeah, I gotta look it up because what? Oh. Right, it says so this is for you slaves, yeah. This there's some wisdom for you straight out the book. This is the book of Sirach 40 and 18. To labor yo, hey, listen, all you heathens, it's gonna be alright, man. Yeah, after you get your ass whooped, and you listen to this, yeah. To labor and to be content with that a man hath is a sweet life. but hold on, but he that findeth a treasure is above them both, and we found a treasure, man. Yeah, the Lord, we are the treasure. The Lord has blessed us with treasure, so we're gonna have treasure. Yeah, because we're the Israelites. The Lord shall provide us with treasure. But you're gonna labor and be content, and that's enough, right?
It's like when Solomon asked the Lord for wisdom, right? But through that wisdom, that knowledge that he was given,
You got a treasure.
got treasures, man.
Yeah, because
You got
we're
everything.
blessed.
You got everything. Yeah.
We're blessed and favored. So we're not just gonna be just the run-of-the-mill mans that just go to work and they work and labor and then
as equals.
what do they call it? Working class.
Yeah,
You're gonna be the working class.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with that. That you can have a good life living. Like man was made to work.
But this is what I'm saying. Right now in this world, man, are happy to be working for Esau. bro.
yeah. You gonna work for us.
Oh yeah, I work for EE. I work for fucking Apple. Them man are happy, bro.
Working for EE.
Two jobs,
Yeah. So what's the problem?
No
Like,
problem.
The problem really shouldn't, like, not even a problem, man. But obviously the part you ain't gonna like is obviously to get your ass whipped for 1,000 years. Understandable. Right, but what we're saying in the kingdom, man, you're gonna play your roles.
You're gonna be working for us, man.
But our position in this place right now is gonna change. Okay, we're not gonna be the bottom. Okay, we're gonna be the nobles of the earth, the kings, the priests of the earth, the judges.
Special.
All right, because that's how the Most High made us for. That's what He made us for.
The sweetest life.
That's right. All right, and you're just gonna play the same sort of roles you play now, except that it's gonna be more righteous to you, man.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
yep.
you ain't gonna be worrying like
Yeah,
these men are. You know,
Hey, you don't have to be a king, you know.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a king. You can, you know, stick eat a mango and that. You know what I'm saying? It's cool.
These Moabites can continue making T-shirts, or wear the garments, or whatever. They can continue doing that. You know, they were good at it.
Drinking tea, you know what I mean? You just gonna have to work, you know.
But you know, there's just gonna be more righteousness in the earth, man.
From the sweat of a brow shall a man eat bread. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. You're gonna have to bust sweat.
Your work will be appropriately compensated. Not like today. Esau got you working to the bone, like.
Yeah. And you're gonna be content. You're gonna be content with the, you know, what.
Because it's gonna be enough.
Yeah, it's gonna be enough.
You know, it's not gonna be super.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be super elaborate night like how we live in, but we're gonna have enough.
Yeah.
You know, which is more than what can be said now, because we ain't got shit right now. Ain't nobody got shit right now. It's
So
in
what?
Esau's hands.
Some of you got more than what you're gonna have in the kingdom. I'll tell you that. But by the way, you want anything else? Could we close up, man?
No.
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Yeah,
Right.
go
There's
on.
a point I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So we go Proverbs 29
Someone
and
has to
2.
go down.
When the righteous are in authority,
Yeah.
the people rejoice.
Yeah.
But when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn.
Right. So you're gonna benefit from righteous management, and you go into anywhere, any company, right? Benefit any endeavor ultimately benefits from good leadership. Bad leadership is not a good thing. Even if you go into sports, you got a coach. If you got a bad coach, it ultimately starts to affect the entire team, and the whole franchise as a whole could go down because of that. But if you got a good coach, you know, you got good morale, everyone, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it helps to have good leaders and good rulers, righteous, benevolent gods ruling over, you know. But you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta take the good with the bad. You're gonna have to get the punishment, you know.
Yeah. And like I said, going back to earlier, man, that's just justice, you know. That's just what it should be done.
That's right.
You know, so you have to eat that, like we've been eating this hell, you know.
Yeah, that's that it is, man. You know, it's not the end of the world. Well, it is, but there'll be a world to come, innit? Like, so it's only Esau. Esau's the one that's really down all the way bad, isn't it? Like, you know, he down bad.
Yeah, don't cry for Esau.
You know, how can you be content with death? You know, but that's what he's gonna have to be content with. So anyway, we're gonna close up Arkham, man. We say Kal Halal, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Waharakah Kadash, and double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and all the sea brothers out there in the highways and the byways, man. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah, you smell